So how are anthropologists different to economists? In this video, I'm going to give you some basic pointers for understanding the crucial difference between the two. I'm also making this in tribute to the late and great David Graeber, who's an economic anthropologist who had a big influence on me and many other people, who tragically died in 2020. One of the reasons why I've always resonated with David Graeber's work is that I too come from an anthropology background, and I also understand his frustration with the economics discipline. Economics is a hegemonic discipline that has huge amounts of political power, whereas anthropology has always been much more marginalized, but often has much more interesting things to say about economies and the diversity within them. So economic anthropology is the branch of anthropology that specializes at looking at human economic life. All the different things that go into sustaining us and keeping us alive and allowing us to provision for ourselves, whether that be production, consumption, distribution, or reproduction. Now, anthropology often has a kind of antagonistic relationship to economics, albeit the economics discipline is not always aware of this because the economics discipline has so much power in the world and often doesn't have to think about the critiques that come in from other disciplines. Nevertheless, different people give different reasons as to why this antagonism between anthropology and economics exists, but this is how I would describe it. Anthropology always basically starts from the recognition that a person, in the first instance at least, cannot exist apart from a group. Put differently, anthropology always assumes that the human network, the human society, the enmeshed network of relations always precedes individual people. Every person in history has always been born into an existing social context. The network always precedes its individual members. In this context, it also recognizes that care and reproduction actually precede any form of solo heroics. Human babies don't survive for very long if they're left to fend for themselves, if they're left to be individuals. And even if they miraculously survived without others, they would not be able to speak language, which would basically make all future social interactions impossible. And they certainly wouldn't be able to engage in forms of trade, which require building relationships with other people. In fact, the only known examples of truly solo children are what we call feral children. And these are always tragic cases of these kids that have been severely neglected and abused and basically are unable to interact, and they cannot form part of a normal human economy. So the basic point is that before anybody in this world can pretend to be a solo economic agent, they first have to be born and cared for by other people and nurtured to a point where they can start to perceive themselves as an individual. Now, as children grow up into adults and gain confidence, it's true that they will start to become aware of marginal differences between themselves and might start to entertain the idea of being some kind of autonomous individual. But for much of early human history, this could never be a primary way a person would think about themselves. It could never be a primary orientation. The idea that you could just walk off on your own out into the horizon was simply not a reality for people. It's also not a reality nowadays, but we find it easier nowadays to imagine that for various reasons, which I'll get into. Put simply though, in early human society, there really wasn't a very strong concept of an individual self that existed apart from a clan or a tribe or the people around you. Anthropologists then were among the first to realize that this term individual, which is used extensively in our modern world, is not so much a description of reality as it is a kind of ideological concept, which emerges from within certain groups under certain conditions in certain times and certain places. More specifically, it's a concept that really flourishes in the presence of vast nation-state systems that remove the need for close connection or kinship with others. Within a large-scale nation-state, you actually can indeed leave your place of origin and walk around as if you're a total stranger among other strangers, whilst all being held under this common meta-rule system with legal systems, monetary systems, and abstract national ideologies and flags that give some loose sense of connection to all these strangers around you. The heretical thought that then emerges among anthropologists is that perhaps the modern individual is actually a product of states. This is also why modern anthropology has connections into left-leaning anarchism. Anthropologists were among the first to sense that capitalism is in fact catalyzed by states, rather than existing in antagonism to states. Now, this orientation actually places many anthropologists in opposition to many standard economists. Now, I say standard economists here because Obviously, there is diversity and nuance among different types of economists and different schools of economics, but I'm going to basically be talking here about mainstream economics or neoclassical economics. Now, standard economics grew up in the context of modern states and focused its attention on the population of these states. Basically, the early economists were Europeans sitting in European cities, imagining that context as the sort of baseline starting point for their analysis. So much like a fish that struggles to see the water that it's swimming in, all these economists were basically ordinary European people who took a whole bunch of things for granted. All the kind of features of a state were just blended into the background to them. They didn't really think very much about them. Anthropologists, by contrast, were originally attached to a colonial project of those European states. They get sent out into the colonies, right? So initially they did carry with them many of the assumptions that a person from Europe might have about how economies work. But very quickly they would encounter cultures that would shock them out of their comfort zones. And they were forced to actually immerse themselves in, for example, clan-based societies like Papua New Guinea, or hunter-gatherers, tribal pastoralists, and many other groups that would not conform to the standard modes of behavior and attitudes that you would find in a capitalist market economy. Many of these groups were peripheral to modern states and didn't use the state as a primary mode of political organization. They represented a different way of being, and one that economists were really not exposed to. When hearing stories about these people, economists would either be judgmental, seeing them as some kind of primitive version of a more advanced economy, or else they'd simply ignore these stories. Above all though, they'd always analyze them through a lens that was forged in a modern capitalist context, one that just took a whole bunch of things for granted. So economists were so immersed in modern states that those states simply blended into the background, so omnipresent that they were basically near invisible. Now, once you forget about the state, what ends up happening is that you simply see the social results of its presence. Over time, large-scale state societies with all their institutions dissolve smaller and more tightly knit groups into these much larger and looser collectives. Those collectives are still enmeshed together, but that much larger scale style of interdependence feels looser and more breakable. This looseness and modularity of large-scale market systems essentially means you can recombine into new sub-collectives, all while losing sight of the much larger system. And the sheer scale of your interdependence in that situation makes you start to feel like you're a quote-unquote independent. You see strangers disassociated from each other, floating about, trading. And it's in this context that you begin to imagine that the world is composed of all these autonomous, free-floating individuals. You might even come to believe that these supposedly autonomous individuals actually precede human networks. And this is also because within a state setting, they sometimes sort of do. So for example, precarious workers from all over the country float into association with a group of managers who've managed to raise money from a group of scattered investors, but they're all operating under a common state infrastructure. And voila, a corporation exists. Now, if you open an economics textbook, you'll see that it often starts with these supply and demand curves. And these basically represent the terms upon which fully grown human adults will walk into markets to connect with each other. So what's happening here is that economists are starting their analysis from the perspective of an individual and then using that to explain the appearance of collectives. If you think about it, a market is a social structure in which people are coming together. But economists will often imagine this as if it were the voluntary creation of detached individuals who have chosen to come together, as if they somehow had the option to not be part of a collective. The economics discipline has long harbored this implicit belief that groups are merely collections of individuals. This style of thinking in many ways is the opposite of much anthropological thinking, because economists are essentially imagining that the individual precedes the network, that the social structure is simply the creation of individuals rather than individuals being the creation of the social structure. Now, the mentality behind this model is often then implicitly expanded and used to describe all social relations as if they were stemming from the rational utility calculations of these disconnected individuals. As if in the back of the minds of the economics discipline, there's this vision of people who have this option to just walk off and leave society if it no longer suits them. This, though, through the eyes of anthropologists and other fields like feminist economics, is a deep-level structural flaw in economics. Somewhat like having a kind of bug at the deepest level of your discipline's foundational code. This imagination of the self as floating alone in a market enables the economics discipline to create these caricatures of human behavior, such as self-interest, which is imagined to be the self focusing on itself, but also altruism, which is imagined to be the self focusing on others. Whereas in many early pre-capitalist societies, there was no clear distinction between self-interest and group interest. They were actually seen as aspects of each other, a bit like a chicken and an egg. They were not seen as things that were separatable and optional. At its worst then, mainstream economics has this very bad habit of taking this historically specific economic system, our modern system, which is based around capitalist monetary exchange, which was unleashed by large-scale nation states, and then generically labeling it as economics, and then universalizing it and projecting it backwards in time into situations where it never existed. As an analogy to this, imagine a music professor claiming that classical music is the only form of music, and then proceeding to use Western classical music notation and scales to transcribe Indian ragas. So this kind of colonizing tendency in economics has generated a lot of atrocious theories. For example, one of the worst, the barter theory on the origins of money, which is this situation where a bunch of economists in Europe took a post-money mentality, the situation when they're already immersed in a modern capitalist economy that already depends on money, and then they project that mentality that's forged in that context back into a world where that mentality didn't exist. And then they use that to generate a theory for why those people back at that time must have invented money to get to the present. This is still the mainstream way that economists think about money, and it's atrocious from a historical perspective, but also from an anthropological perspective. David Graeber was famous for dismantling this intellectual abomination in his book, Debt, the First 5,000 Years. Now, he wasn't the first to do this. The barter theory has been attacked for over 100 years by now, but his book was the first to popularize and expand upon some of those critiques. Debt, the First 5,000 Years was a great example of anthropology charging the gates of economics, revealing the hidden political dynamics behind these supposedly scientific theories of economics and the supposedly unassailable moral judgments such as debts must be paid. So David Graeber was a master of the style of anthropology that opens your eyes to the fact that the palette of economic options is far wider than you might think. A conservative economics department will often attempt to naturalize the mentality that accompanies capitalist monetary exchange. Economic anthropology, by contrast, is a bit like a rebel holdout in our collective subconscious, keeping alive knowledge of other ways of being, many of which still exist under the shadow of our dominant economic system, and which are often parasited upon by it. So this is what it's like being an anthropologist in an economist world. I'm just going to conclude with some personal reflections about David Graeber. One of the things I remember most about David Graeber is how humble and committed he was to solidarity. I remember once waiting in line with him to get into this event in London, my friend Julio, and the hall was incredibly overcrowded and we were too late to fit in. Now, David was a VIP. He could have easily walked up to the door and asked to go in, but he refused to script the queue. He refused to treat himself as being more important than other people. So we ended up sitting in the breeze outside the event and discussed building a collective group called Spectre, the secret political economy consortium for the total redistribution of everything. During the lockdown, during COVID, me and Julio actually started making some videos with David on a channel called Spectre TV. I'll put a link to it down below. It was on basic income, and it was the last time I ever spoke to David, because he tragically died a few months later. If you don't know David's work, I really recommend getting to know it. Here's another video you can check out which I made about him. The last thing I'm going to say about David is that he was a quirky poker hand. His political views were well known, a bit like the upturned cards you'll see in a game of Texas Hold'em, but I feel incredibly fortunate that on a few occasions I was lucky enough to see one of his personal cards or two. He was eccentric, he was hilarious, he was warm, and I and many others will miss that deeply. So, the fight goes on to promote economic anthropology. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
I wanted to air this because I got sent this and I saw this and I watched most of it. I didn't see it all this morning. It's like 30 minutes long, but I watched part of it. And the guy's saying he's criticizing me because you do that, you don't get banned by the algorithm. And he's just one surfer coming on the waves we created. So he pretty much gets it. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name, Extra Chill Goblin. We always like goblin jokes. I don't know why. I made goblin jokes years ago that became super viral, so whatever. Yeah. We'll air that. So here's Extra Chill Goblin, and then Harrison Smith takes over. Here it is. Extra Chill Goblin. He pretty much gets it. Dirty. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name. Extra Chill Goblin Vomit, Slop, and Blood. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's got a goblin guide charging into a goblin's nest. I don't want to see him kissing goblins. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. Literal vampire belly goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Extra chill goblin. I thought it was entertaining and informative.
Okay, forgot to turn on my mic there for a second, but it's okay. I remembered just in time. We are still. It's okay. I must now do the thing where I talk about now we've started. Gang, there's a war on for your mind. There's nothing wrong with your television set. We are controlling the airwaves. We've taken control of your transmission. Do not attempt to adjust your picture. You just took the chill pill. The following stories are true. Names have not been changed to protect the guilty. We're on the march. We have the evil empire on the run, broadcasting live from behind enemy lines. You get the idea. You're listening to the voice of Goblin Resistance, Extra Chill Goblin. It is Sunday, August 16th. It's 8:50 p.m. from where I'm sitting at Eastern Standard Time. And you can follow me at Chill Goblin on various platforms, YouTube, Twitter, I don't know, Patreon, stuff like that. Means TV, and also Extra Chill Goblin right here. I don't know how you would even hear my voice say these things if you didn't already know about Extra Chill Goblin, but if you didn't, now you do. Are we finally going to see you kissing goblins? Many people have asked this. Many people have asked this.
I had to spank him there at the end, and I certainly enjoyed it.
And I don't know. We will one day find out. They muted. Okay, you guys got me. Charging into a goblin's nest. Yes, we did actually finish a video during the pre-stream. I must admit, I got a little distracted. I got a little wrapped up in the video. And honestly, I didn't. Maybe I should have checked how long it was. I guess 15 minutes is fine. Usually, I like to play these videos for at most 15 minutes. Usually like 10 to 15. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was really interesting. I don't know if this guy is like famous or anything. Brett Scott. It seems cool that he actually knew David Graeber in real life. Excuse me, but it's a pretty small channel. It's got 4,000 subscribers, 44 videos. Wow, seems like some good stuff. The Economy, a User's Guide. Wasn't that that was a book, right? How to Free Your Mind from Big Tech Propaganda. I mean, this seems good. Should we pity the rich? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Good to see an ally to the rich, people of affluence. Another video about Graeber. Very cool. Yeah, I just came across this one, but I haven't checked out this guy's whole stuff. Oh, modern monetary theory, a primer. That would be good for me to watch. I keep hearing about this MMT stuff, and I'm always like, what? Every time I see one, I'm like, I think I get it, and then I don't really get it. So we don't need to do taxes, but we should do them anyway. We should do taxes to stop people from getting rich, but we don't need the taxes to fund stuff. Is that right? Am I understanding that right? Probably not. But gang, yes, definitely check this guy out. He seems like he's got some quality stuff on here. Throw him a subscribe. See what shows up in your recommendations. Seems very cool. Yeah, I like David Graeber. He's a cool dude. Read a lot of his stuff. I have his book. I think it's his last book, maybe. I think he had a few books published posthumously, but I have the book he did the Pirate Enlightenment about, like, I don't know, pirate anarchy on the seven seas or something like that. And it's pretty, I mean, I don't know. I was about to say it's pretty good, but what I actually should have said is I haven't started it yet. So I don't actually know if it's good. I assume it's good. It sounds cool as hell. Talking about pirates. I guess how they're, I mean, I don't know. Haven't read it. But from what I understand, it's about how they're like, the pirates were kind of like socialist, where they had these like rules where like everybody gets a equal share of the bounty or whatever, the booty, whatever you call it, when you rob another boat or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like internally they treated each other very fairly. Externally they killed a lot of people and were pretty bad objectively. But I don't know. It seems interesting. I believe the black flag of anarchy is from the pirate flag. Is that right? Black flag of anarchy? Or was that like from the, you know, French Revolution days? I actually don't know. Let me look this up. Anarchist symbolism. Let's see. Let's see over here. Continued in Wikipedia. Exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. Anarchists have employed certain symbols for their cause, prominently including the circle A, the black flag, or the black cat. Okay. Bisected flags, often using the black flag as a basis. Okay. We know. Okay, black flag. The origins of the... Okay, it's uncertain. We all know. In any case, by the early 1880s, black was already anarchist color. For example, Black International was the name of a London-based British anarchist group founded... Yada, yada, yada. Oh, the Black Hand, Mano Negra, an alleged anarchist. Okay, right. I thought it was the Black Hand, the guys that killed Franz Ferdinand, but no, different Black Hand. Okay, maybe I think I might be wrong about that. Nothing to know about pirates at all. The Jolly Roger. Or was it the other way around? Yeah. The first bisected red and black anarchist flag was used at least in the 1800s by Italian anarchists. Okay, didn't know that. I thought that was like the anarcho-syndicalists. Cool, all right, that's fun. The black flag. What am I trying to find here? Pirate? Anywhere? Nope. Jolly Roger? Anywhere? Nope. Okay, I think I heard it wrong. I'm learning that I heard wrong. Great stream. Have we figured out what stellar body we should send Elon Musk, other billionaires and MAGA people to? The sun, W, and all rightoids, of course. Henry Rollins comes in all angry and junk. Yes, that's the true meaning of black flag. Totally. There is a page just on black flag, anarchist black flag. Okay, originating from the Kennets. What? Wait, what? How come this one is like, it's got an official origin, but the other page was like, we don't know. It's a full-on mystery, dude. It's a full-on mystery, dude. Oh, and then what's this? That looks like a pirate flag. All right, I don't know. Gang. Who knows? Whatever, not important. But yeah, no, definitely go follow this guy. Go give him a subscription. Brett Scott. Doc Brown voice. Brett Scott. 9.21, 8.07 giga subscribers. Wow. Not really. Okay, what are we doing here? We're talking Brett Scott. We're talking David Graeber. We're talking. Oh yeah, okay, gang. We got a lot. We got some stuff to go into today. Not that much, but I think this first one is going to take up a bit of time though. We're going to go over to. Oh, hang on now. Let me just quickly make sure that this thing is working. Boom. Okay. I don't even feel like I should do the full Obsidian intro for this since I didn't completely arrange this here, and it's mostly just going to be, well, I'll do the short one, actually. That's why I have this. Oh, hello. Is it not going to...
Obsidian is a powerful note-taking application.
So I've been using Obsidian app for a while now.
Obsidian has officially won the Note Race.
All right, that was it. That time it worked. Sorry, I meant to play the short one. Apparently it doesn't work, so I had to play long. But okay, gang, have you heard about this, guys? This was like some drama over the past couple weeks in like, you know, right-wing conspiracy world. The great debate, that's literally what it is called, between Candace Owens on one side and Andrew Wilson on the other side. Owens versus Wilson. The Owen-Wilson debate. Wow. Can anybody do a good Owen Wilson impression? Wow. If you can do a good Owen Wilson impression, type it into the chat. Wow. Type in your impression. If you can truly do a good impression, it should be discernible over text. That's how you know you can really do it. Wow. I can't really, but I can try. I can still have fun trying. Hey, what are you guys going to stop me from flying my flag over here? Okay, so where to begin with this? So so much happened in the past like couple of weeks. Oh wait, what was this up here for? What on earth? Oh God. Okay. Started 11 days ago. Not even 2 weeks ago. 11 days ago. Andrew Wilson was on JRE. That's standing for Joe Rogan Experience. If you're new around here. Wow. Oh, that's pretty good, Stubens. That's pretty good. Have I seen Patrick Bet David's thinking room? No. What? What has he got? He's got like a little holodeck or something. But let me just play this. This was something that Andrew Wilson said on his recent Joe Rogan interview. Bruh. $300,000. What the hell? Why? What would you? That is so much money. Oh, is it not coming through? No audio or video? Oh, gang. Jeez. Okay, this is embarrassing. Hang on. No. Thank you for letting me know. I will fix this right now. Real quick. This should work. Okay. Sorry. Let me set this up again. Okay, so 11 days ago on the Joe Rogan Experience, he's interviewing the young up-and-comer known as Andrew Wilson. You may have seen this guy on his podcast, whatever, where I don't really get I get from a business standpoint what the point of the show is. It's just to get as many views as possible, but it seems like this guy hates OnlyFans models. Like he just hates the concept of women, I don't know, having autonomy, I guess. And literally he's like against women voting. And he has this podcast where he just has on OnlyFans girls and debates them. And sometimes, like quite often, at least from what I see, the clips that I see, he does not win these debates. He does not do well all the time. And to be fair, he doesn't only have OnlyFans models on, but mostly I think that is who he's arguing with. And it just feels like if you really didn't like OnlyFans girls, why would you promote them on your show? Like they're coming on so that they can get, I don't know, people finding out about them. But I guess he feels a need to berate women more than he actually has a principle against something. You know what I mean? Anyway, he's a confusing guy, but he basically does a ton of debates. And you know how, like, you know, Charlie Kirk and those fucking, you know, clowns, they're like, I'm a debater, and they would only debate like unprepared university students. He's kind of like that, but with OnlyFans models. As far as I can tell, maybe there's something I'm missing about it. That's what I know about. That's what I think of the guy. I might not have the full picture, admittedly. But anyway, okay, here we go. Andrew Wilson on Joe Rogan. Here's what he said.
We offered Candace Owens, I offered her $300,000 to do a debate.
So he offered, sorry, I'm going to pause it right away here, but I'll let him play a little bit longer, say what he's going to say. $300,000 is crazy for a debate? Bro, come on.
I was like, we'll give you $300,000.
What is her position? What does she think happened?
She thinks that Israel worked in conjunction with TPUSA and Erica Kirk to murder Charlie.
Based on what?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Nobody actually knows. She's never presented a single shred of evidence thus far that Israel ever worked to murder Kirk, that Erica Kirk certainly didn't. In fact, her position for the longest time was if Erica Kirk...
I'm going to pause it. He goes on and on and on. You get the idea. So he offered Candace Owens $300,000 to debate him about who killed Charlie Kirk. That's nuts. Now, this guy, obviously, you may be picking up from what I'm putting down here, maybe reading between the lines. I think this guy's a huge piece of shit. I don't like Andrew Wilson, but I do basically agree with what he's saying here about Charlie Kirk. I also don't really like Candace Owens either, but I feel like there's parts, there's things that she did. I don't know. Overall, if I were listing up their redeeming qualities, I don't know. I think I'd slightly be on Candace Owens' side. So that's where I am here. This is a real Alien versus Predator moment. Whoever wins, we lose. But also, it's a, I don't know, let them fight type thing. So Candace responded. This is her stream from, what was it, 7th of August? This is 9 days ago. It's like the day after the Joe Rogan interview. So here's what she says.
And that's twc.health/Candace. Kits are available for U.S. residents only. He says 300K. Let's make it 500K, right?
He says 300K. Let's make it 500K.
Have the hunch, this feeling, gut instinct that you're maybe being backed by Turning Point USA or their affiliates in this debate request. It's just, you don't.
So, Django, you actually had the same kind of instinct as Candace. He probably has a sugar daddy here. 300K for a debate. Who the fuck would drop that? But yeah, you're thinking some Christian oil billionaire. She was sort of going the other direction with it. A Israeli guy. Actually, no. She says, no, actually, she wasn't saying Israel. She's saying Turning Point USA.
Don't strike me as someone that has 300K lying around for conversation. I mean, not with that smoking habit in today's economy, right? And given the fact that Turning Point USA has raised $40
he smokes a lot.
million in one night off of Charlie's blood, literally encasing his bloody microphone at a fundraiser event so that his grieving widow could be captured by the camera standing next to it, I think 500K feels more appropriate. They want to invest in you. You're their guy.
$500,000. $500,000. Yes, I'll debate you for $500,000.
I tell them that's what it
and
costs.
She's like trying to be like, they're just making money off of the blood of Charlie. No, you're doing that. I mean, everybody's doing it. Yeah, that is, you're correctly calling him out, but you are doing that even more egregiously.
What's 500K between old friends, right? Also, my second counter offer position point that I'd like you to meet is I'm 7 months pregnant. So if you fancy a debate face-to-face, you're going to have to travel to me. It's common decency. No time limit in the debates. Don't worry. It will be live. We will bring up any documents or evidence that you mention as a part of this case. We have a team, so you can send links live. We are happy to pause and allow you to search for any evidence that you reference if the team can't find it for some reason. No tricks, as long as you want. Like I said, live, so anybody could see if we were trying to play tricks. As a 2A point here, you're not going to be chain smoking around me, tough guy, okay? You're just going to have to bring yourself and leave your cigs at home.
Also, like, very funny. Like, I feel like she's already doing her thing, like getting under his skin a little bit, right? And be like, okay, tough guy, no cigarettes. You're not going to be chain smoking. I'm pregnant. Which already I feel like maybe Andrew Wilson wasn't prepared for this.
And
I don't know if he knows how to debate without cigarettes.
This is actually, I would say, the most important part for me. This is what has to happen. Third part here. Either Blake Neff or Andrew Colvett or Erica Kirk must publicly claim you first, meaning they must say that they are sending you in to debate on their behalf regarding the Charlie Kirk case. Okay? No worming away after the fact. They don't get to be, we do.
I will say this is kind of unreasonable, this part. I mean, yeah, no smoking, obviously, that's fine. But like, and whatever, trying to get as much money as you can out of the guy, sure. But like, yo, saying that, and most importantly, Erica Kirk has to say, yes, I am the one sending him in because of me. That does feel a little bit like she's trying to dodge the debate to me. That feels like she still wants to be able to say, well, I said I would do it, but she's giving it, some of these terms are like, what? Like it's a conspiracy theory that she has come up with. I think it's Turning Point USA that's doing it, that's setting you up here. I think it's this. But like, what if it's not? Like, how is he supposed to possibly get the... like, do you guys think it's Turning Point USA? I don't really. I don't. If I were Turning Point USA, I would not get this guy to be my representative. I would probably want this whole beef to just, or, you know, beef between Candace and Erica Kirk just to go away. Like, I wouldn't want to be blowing on the fire and getting it to keep going. So I don't really know where she's getting this from. It goes back and forth. Honestly, they go back and forth a lot. Here's Andrew Wilson on Twitter. 500K is fine. I'll crowdfund it. Travel there is fine on neutral ground. Can't be her studio. That's a ridiculous ask. I suggest Michael Knowles don't moderate, blah, 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 blah. Debate has to be 3.5 hours with hour-long cross-examinations, which is funny because Candace said, I want the debate to be an unlimited amount of time. It could go on for days. Okay, this could be like a cricket match. Like, I don't want there to be any time limit on this debate. That was what Candace came with. And then he's like, it has to be 3.5 hours. And it's like, okay, so you're actually like backing down a little bit. And she goes, oh, so the rich tough guy who had 300K to burn now only wants to do it if he can make 500K? Absolutely not. It also doesn't make any sense. I get, if I just kind of read these tweets and I just don't pay attention to the words and I get the vibe, I'm like, oh, they're fighting, oh, fun. But the actual things they're saying don't make any sense. Because he was like, 500K is fine. I'll crowdfund it, and that way I'll get 500K as well. And then she's like, oh, no, actually, I'll accept your original 300K. What the fuck? Why? Just take it. He was going to give you 500K. What the fuck are you talking? Anyway, but I wanted in person in my studio. To overcome your suspicion, my team of 3 will be working against you. You can bring your own team of 3 to sit in the control room. Okay. Then this is so funny. This is the sort of thing that should just be in the DMs. This does not need to be on Twitter. Can I get clarification? It's Friday, so you mean like next week? Like, would next Friday work? Or also, and I'm mad, and I'm not just figuring out logistics. Anyway, it goes back and forth. Sure, you can get a clarification. Yes, next Friday would work with me. Yes, you can bring up blah, blah, blah. No, you don't get to add in this weird stipulation regarding a 1-hour cross-examination. Okay, moving on. Then we have an agreement. Okay, they go back and forth so much. Eventually, Candace Owens is like posting DMs. Honestly, I mean, I feel like no one really expected this to happen, but it did. You know, hey, $300,000 is a lot of fucking money, even for Candace Owens. Hard to turn that down. It did actually happen. So I want to go through this train wreck. I sort of feel like I should have been paid like $300,000 just to watch this thing. But anyway, they did. Michael Knowles refused to moderate. His loss definitely would have been probably like, I mean, I don't know why he would refuse other than he was worried that like it would appear that he was taking a side on this whole thing, and he has been very diligently riding the fence on who killed Charlie Kirk. I don't know. Well, I don't want to comment on it. I have friends on both sides. So he didn't want to be sitting here in the middle. But you know who did not have any sort of reservations? The valutainer himself. Patrick Bet David. Here we go. Valutain. Are you not valutained? That's his whole thing, right? Valutained? I don't know. Let's watch it. He's going to set us off here.
Candace, Andrew, good to sit down here with you, talking to you guys about the conversation that I think started with you being on Joe Rogan when you said, hey, I'm offering $300,000 And for the
Why
audience,
does he say dollars like that? $300,000. How do you say it? Wait, let me hear it again.
started with you being on Joe Rogan when you said, "Hey, I'm offering $300,000."
$300,000. Dollars. What are the consonants that he's saying there? I had to hear that one more time. Sorry.
The conversation that I think started with you being on Joe Rogan when you said, "Hey, I'm offering $300,000."
$300,000. Oh, I think he's sort of like the D at the end of thousands, at the beginning of dollars. He drops it. He's like $300,000.
And for the audience watching this, you have to know when you see this final product, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors. There was still
not enough stuff happened behind closed doors. Most of it happened on Twitter. But I'm just going to skip ahead here. Let's hear Andrew Wilson's opening statement.
Andrew, your claim is overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. Opening statements, opening comments.
Sure. And what I mean by overwhelming is I just find it very convincing. I think that's what most people mean when they say overwhelming evidence.
And I have to pause it here. No, it's not. Overwhelming evidence. I don't know if it's a legal term. It might be. I don't know. But I would really only use that to say this is provable beyond a reasonable doubt. Like anyone looking at this evidence would have to say by far the likeliest scenario is this. Overwhelming evidence. There is overwhelming evidence that vaccines work. There's overwhelming evidence. Blah, 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 blah. And he's trying to backpedal here. You see that? Like I'm on his side, really. Like I do sort of think there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I do agree with that. But he's trying to say, oh, there's By the way, when I say overwhelming evidence, what I mean is that I personally think that's probably true. And I think that's what most people... No, dude, come on. Why? That's the first thing he says in the debate. Oh, my God.
That's sure. And what I mean by overwhelming is I just find it very convincing.
I find it very convincing. No, man, it has to be like something that's like objective. It's not just what you, oh God, already terrible start.
I think that's what most people mean when they say overwhelming evidence.
And this guy's such a fucking, like, you'll see in this debate, he's like such an annoying pedant, like this real debate bro type. And it's not even like, honestly, I don't really get like debate bro energy from him. I get kind of like male Karen, kind of like, it's like sort of like, like how do I describe his energy? It's like, he's like a male Karen, like trying to speak to your manager type thing. And he's also sort of like this Disney adult energy, you know? He's like the guy arguing, he's at Disneyland and he's arguing with some, you know, cast member that actually the Fast Pass does allow me to skip ahead not only the rides, but to take photos as well. No, I don't have a kid. The photo is of me. And it'll be a selfie with Mickey Mouse. No, actually. And he has kind of that voice. He seems like, I don't know. His vibe is like the manliest guy at the Yu-Gi-Oh card competition. You know what I mean? It's very, there's something very lame about him, right? It's not just me that's getting this, right? This is the one guy, one jar guy? What? No, I don't think so. Yeah, he's incredibly irritating. Very, very unlikable guy. Anyway, here we go.
So I have a brief opening statement. On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was murdered. Many of you already know a lot about the events which occurred after Kirk's death. You remember the ghoulish laughter, celebrations, and madness we saw from leftists all over. From TikTok invasions, debates, posts on social media, destruction of memorials, and things like this. Within weeks of Kirk's death, a cottage industry began to form, peddling various alternative theories on how he died. What special interest may have killed him, what nations were involved, and was our own government one of them? Because this was the first nationwide traumatic event in Gen Z's lifetime, the demand for answers was severe and palpable. The leading theory from the conspiracy verse is that Israel worked with the United States government to murder Charlie Kirk.
And I will say, yeah, that is definitely the leading conspiracy in the conspiracy verse, or leading theory in the conspiracy verse. That does not sum up the half of what Candace Owens believes. For Candace Owens' theory, there is much more than just Israel did it. There's a lot of kooky stuff in there. So I feel like he's, you're not arguing with everyone right now, Andrew Wilson. You're arguing just with Candace.
Within a day or two of Kirk's death, Ian Carroll claimed that Israel killed.
And I don't even I'm just bored listening to it. It's like he's reading it off his phone. He's reading it off his phone. Come on, dude. This is your moment. This is your moment. You paid $300,000. It's pathetic that you're even here under these circumstances. You have to make more of a meal of it than this. Look her in the eye as you're saying these things. Off your phone, dude. God. Oh my God. He comes on he's supposed to be this like alpha bro manosphere guy. And he comes on here pure beta energy. He does not already, right? Like I'm not spoiling anything when I say like, oh my God, not a good sign here. Because how Candace is going to be. Anyway, all right.
Killed Charlie Kirk.
Do I really need to hear this? We know what he's going to say. He believes the thing that is probably most likely. Like on paper, I am kind of on this guy's side. But like, oh my God.
And the conspiracy caught on like wildfire. This theory.
Okay, he's going on about the Israel thing. I'm going to skip ahead to the end of his opening statement here.
If I'm honest, the reason I was willing to pay the $300,000 for this debate was to finally have a chance for someone to demand Candace be held accountable for the unbelievable theories and claims she's been making. Candace's investigation is indistinguishable from a leftist operation. She couldn't be doing more damage to the right if she were trying. She uses her.
Oh, she couldn't do more damage to the right if she were trying. Now he's like, she's basically a leftist.
Considerable platform to relentlessly attack one of the most influential conservative outreach organizations for young people. And she's making a mockery of the online right-wing commentary class. She's harming Republicans in an election year by dividing them. She's attacking the very organization Charlie spent his life building. And she's attacking the people he loved, including his wife. And it cost me $300,000. But today, I hope that she finally answers for some of that.
Thank you, Andrew. Candace?
Did you get it out of your system?
He's calling her a leftist. And it's like, bro, like, you spent so much money on this shit, man. You gotta come prepared. You come at the king, you best not miss. Just like memorize that. You should not have, like, oh my God. Reading off your phone is just, oh my God. Anyway, you gotta look her in the eye. You gotta say it from the heart, okay? You can do it. Like, he could have done that. That wouldn't have been so hard for him. But he insisted on reading his little chat GPT-ass like opening statements. Anyway, and now watch the vibe shift as Candace takes over.
Hope that she finally answers for some of that.
Thank you, Andrew. Candace?
Did you get it out of your system?
I did.
Okay, great. Well, I'm not going to waste time with the preamble because I think I just want to get to the substance of the debate, and we'll just speak to the audience. I have obviously had an audience since we've been covering this case. People know that there was a personal friendship between me and Charlie, and diminishing the pursuit of...
yes, Finland. Candace doesn't need to look at her notes all off the dome. Like, it's such a different fucking... Like, oh my God. And like, debates are all about, like, it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it, right? It's about like how you seem. Do you seem right? Like, the fact checking doesn't really matter as much as just your fucking swagger, whatever, your riz during the debate. Swagger. That was like the old version of riz. What am I talking about? Jeez, what year is it? But yeah, it's like how you come off. And she's right off the bat. She's looking him in the eye. First thing she says, you get that out of your system. Cutting him down. God, she's so much. I mean, she's not even that good, I don't think. It's just that all these conservative guys, anytime I see one of these conservatives debate her, they underestimate her. They underestimate what she's able to do.
Something that makes sense regarding what happened on September 10th. By throwing it to, this is just people who are conspiracy theorists. These are people who are just trying to generate clicks. I don't think that people should be satisfied by that. I want people to remember that it's important to think. We've been lied to by the government a great many times over, just the last couple of years. If you just think of the things that we've learned about our government, And I do want to say this. What's been the most disturbing element, I think, for everyone.
Oh, also, guys, she's 7 months pregnant. She's 7 months and 2 weeks pregnant when this thing came out. Like, oof, it's rough. It's rough to watch. And she's so calm. She's so calm. Oh my God. Andrew was literally sweating. Yes, he was like Nixon in the Nixon-Kennedy debate. Oh, that is, yeah. Honestly, similar vibes here. There's a similar Riz gap between these two debaters. Oh God. Okay. Do I want to?
Is that not only does the narrative not make any sense, which I'm going to demonstrate.
Do I want to play more from this? I don't know about that. Excuse me. All right. I'm going to skip ahead. You guys get the vibe. Opening statements don't really matter that much, but they start talking about the prints on the gun. The gun prints. Yeah. Who's the most talented conservative in terms of pure Riz? God, that's a good question. Yeah, of the new generation. I mean, like, there's God, I don't know. Like, none of them really have Riz to me. Yeah, obviously Alex Jones is the GOAT. Trump. I mean, yeah, Trump or Alex Jones, 2016. Right now, I mean, I don't know. Fuentes seems to have something going on. I mean, Candace Owens obviously has some appeal. I find her kind of excruciating to listen to, kind of boring. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these guys have got to have appeal. But it's a little hard. Tim Dillon? Is he considered a conservative still? I don't even know what his fucking politics are. But yeah, no, a lot of comedians who are like have been carrying water for MAGA and like the Trump administration. But not this guy. Not this guy. For such a, misogynist, a women-hating guy, it is impressive he manages to be such a male Karen. Like, he is breaking his own glass ceiling. You know what I mean? All right, I forget what I was even showing you guys. What was happening here? Whoops.
Yeah, so the prints, we don't know all of the details on just yet.
We do. It was excruciatingly long.
Right. Yeah, they're talking about the prints on the gun. They found Tyler Robinson's prints are on the gun, but also Luna, or AKA Lance Twiggs' prints are on the gun. And it's like, well, whose gun was? And there's like I think it's also, wait, no, sorry. Was it Tyler Robinson's, it's his grandpa's gun? So was it his dad's prints? I forget. They're talking about the prints on the gun.
Testimony on the prints.
We don't, because they haven't gone to trial, so we don't know on the print front. But Tyler Robinson's DNA was on there. You made the claim that Lance Twiggs' DNA was on there, and it was not.
Well, when she gave the testimony, no, hold on. First, let's go to your first point, because that's wrong. We can get a fact check on that. What do you mean we don't know until it goes to trial about the degraded prints? She testified, and this is the person who took the prints.
Yes, but the problem is that inside of this particular testimony, you agree with me that there's going to be much more of the DNA analysis in the trial, right?
But you also would agree that her fact is not going to change, that among the prints, his was the most degraded. So I'm asking you to address that. How could that be possible?
Let's give it, let's just grant this for a second as a possibility that his fingerprints were degraded.
It's not a possibility. It's a fact. The person who took it.
I'm just granting it for the sake of argument.
You should grant it because it's a fact that she presented.
So now,
you see the fucking fact. Oh man.
Now it's granted. So what?
What do you mean? So what?
Yeah. So what? What does that prove?
It proves that if his prints were the most degraded amongst 5 of them, you're going to have to explain how that's possible if he's the one that recently fired the weapon.
Okay, so I do. Like, what Candace is saying is not true, but she is appealing to like this sort of common sense understanding of things where it's like, oh wait, of the 5 fingerprints on the gun, Tyler Robinson's prints are the most degraded? What do you mean? That's impossible then. So then he couldn't have shot, it's like it must have been his grandpa or something. But it's like, well, no, that's just like weird. That's just like a weird thing. That doesn't necessarily mean he didn't have it. Maybe he wiped the gun. Maybe he was wearing gloves. I don't know. Maybe because he threw it in the woods for a while. Weird shit can happen there. Who knows? We don't really have a lot of information about this, but it doesn't prove anything. It's like, it's interesting. Something you can raise an eyebrow at. It's like, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that is weird. I would have expected it would be something different than that. But to her, it's like this sort of like common sense argument. Oh, well, obviously it must have been this, right? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so wait a second. You're saying that it's an impossibility that if his fingerprints are the most degraded,
I'm telling you
if
to
that's
explain
the
it.
case,
You're the gunsmith.
well,
so
wait a
explain
second.
it.
How would a gunsmith give an analysis on fingerprints or DNA? Do you think that I work in a DNA laboratory?
So also, I like, see how pissed off he sounds too? And he is supposed to be a gun expert. I think he wears, like, I think he wears, what am I talking about? I think he owns like a gun company or something like that. Because he is, they talk about him here as like he's an expert in guns. And she's roasting him and he doesn't pick up on it. She's like, you're the gun expert. You tell me why his fingerprints were so degraded. And he's like, why would a gun expert know that? It's factually wrong. What you're saying is technically impossible. Even if I knew everything impossible to know about guns, that wouldn't necessarily make me an expert in fingerprints on guns. Fingerprints on guns are the same as fingerprints anywhere. And knowing the forensic capabilities of fingerprinting technology doesn't mean that and it's just like, bro, she's just fucking with you, man. She's getting under your skin and it's working.
Smith give an analysis on fingerprints or
Let me go back to her so you can hear her line again.
Explain it. You're the gunsmith.
Well,
so
wait a
explain
second.
it.
How would a
See her
gunsmith?
little smile there? She's like, yeah. Oh, really? You're getting upset. Also, I will say, the entire interview, Candace barely budges. Barely budges at all. She stays in this like relaxed pose. She's 7 months pregnant. I mean, I wouldn't even have guessed. She's just like this. She's like this the whole time. Andrew is like shifting around. His leg is bouncing. His foot is twitching. He's like visibly uncomfortable.
Smith give an analysis on fingerprints or DNA. Do you think that I work in a DNA laboratory
So
with
your
fingerprints?
answer is I don't know. You can just say you don't know.
But
you
I
don't
did.
have to.
But I did.
No, you said so what? So say I don't know. I actually don't have an explanation for that,
prove,
Candace.
Though, is my question.
Well, I think that what it would prove is that it is a more viable theory that people who had stronger prints on the gun may have used it more recently.
Did they say who else had fingerprints on the gun?
They named Matt Robinson explicitly.
Okay.
And this was a part of the testimony where she was speaking about how they got.
It's also like he keeps asking her questions and he's like, well, do you know this? And she's like, yes, I do know that. I don't know if you know this. This case is a very big part of the shit that I do. I talk about this case a lot. And it just seems like he doesn't know anything about it. He knows like maybe a little bit more than I do. And I have not done that much reading. Or like, I watched like a little bit of the pre-trial and stuff. And I've tried to keep up with it. But you're coming against Candace. Like, she's cuckoo bananas, bonkers crazy. No doubt. She has said a bunch of insane shit about this. You should be able to like be like, you said this batshit thing and this batshit thing and this completely batshit thing. What the hell is wrong with you? I yield my time. Like it should be easy. But the guy just like he way overestimated himself. He way overestimated himself here. He's just like, I don't know. Do you even know that? And she's like, yes, I do.
Who had stronger prints on the gun may have used it more recently.
Did they say who else had fingerprints on the gun?
They named Matt Robinson explicitly.
Okay.
And this was a part of the testimony where she was speaking about how they got samples of elimination samples from the home of Amber Robinson, Matt Robinson, and Lance Twiggs. Those are the three names they named.
So are you saying that Twiggs
Would you like me to finish my statement?
I just want to make sure I'm clarifying.
He interrupts her so much, and she just like, because like, this is just technique. If you see his other debates, man, it's so funny how much I'm on fucking Candace Owens' side here. It's like ridiculous, because like it takes a lot for me to side against, to side with Candace Owens. But like, you see this guy on his fucking show where he's debating OnlyFans models. He just like interrupts them and berates them and just tries to make them feel stupid. And it just doesn't work on her. It just doesn't work on her. I think it's clear he thought this would be just as easy as those debates he has. He thought he did not prepare at all for this. He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. And Candace gets a good mic drop in on him right here.
Well, if it's the case that these are the more degraded prints, then therefore that means must be Patsy because dad's fingerprints on gun.
I didn't say must be Patsy.
Describe how this actually links in to Robinson being a patsy.
Okay, I just described that for you, so I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, so I'm going to move.
Blow! I can describe it to you, but I can't understand it for you. Or what did she say? I can explain it to you.
Patsy.
Okay, I just described that for you, so I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, so I'm going to move on from that. But to just go back to your point about this is not evidence, you can't make that claim because the entire basis for why you think that there's evidence for Tyler Robinson being the person that took the shot is based off of a hearing under Utah 1102 rules, meaning that they are doing the exact same thing that I am doing. This is the state. You said you're here to represent the state. Well, did you watch the preliminary hearing?
I didn't say I was here to represent the state.
The state's position you think is strong and convincing.
What I'm here to do is represent my own opinion, which is that based on the evidence presented so far by the state
has presented evidence under.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Rod, he didn't overestimate. He just got paid by BB. Yeah. You think? Maybe. I mean. The thing is, though, I feel like Candace Owens shit. I mean, well, I used to say like Candace Owens kind of, anti-Zionism kind of works well for Israel because it's a very anti-Semitic form of anti-Zionism, and it allows them to paint the whole. Number one, to paint all anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism, but number two, this sort of buildup of like anti-Semitic understanding of Israel does make Israel's case stronger, that the Jews need a safe place to go because they're not safe in America. They're not safe anywhere in the world except for Israel. That's why we need this homeland. But, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it's crossed a point now where actually it is bad for them because it is affecting Republican support for Israel. Like, it's crazy how Candace's, like, I saw that interview with Norman Finkelstein and Hassan recently where they're talking about how, like, despite the left having, like, much better critiques of Israel and, like, much more, like, humanitarian, like, positive perspectives on this and, like, anti-colonial, anti-genocide, blah, blah, blah. And we're having all these, like, very in-depth discussions on the problem within the left. None of that's getting boosted. Whereas this shit, the stuff that Candace Owens says, this is like massive. And it is by far the much more widely broadcasted opinion. And the louder voices against Israel are the ones like this. So anyway. Yeah, why is Patrick Bet-David's pussy facing the world? Yeah, why is that? He's like the that Zionist influencer that sits with her legs, her feet up, showing her pussy. Yeah, why isn't he wearing like his Lululemons for this? Amazing. But God, okay, like you guys see what I'm saying? Like it's all very silly. It's all very silly. Moving on. We're going to go skip ahead another time here. This part I thought was pretty funny. Andrew's getting a little agitated. Candace is pulling up this old tweet of his where people were like, wait, so you really think that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? You really think that? What's the evidence? And then he goes, the car pulling in, Robinson getting out of it, the fact he's seen 4 other times on camera, the DNA on the roof and the screwdriver he left behind. It's overwhelming, man. And Candace is like, you said that this is overwhelming evidence. So that's what's going on here. But that, just to give you context, but anyway, the part that I wanted to show, it doesn't really matter, but let's watch.
Somebody said, so give me the clear evidence right here. I want you to provide it right here. All I heard from the investigator was, we believe this to be Tyler Robinson. Is belief something you go as a fact? You wrote the car pulling in. That's a totally blurry image. Robinson getting out of it. You have no idea if that's Tyler Robinson. The fact that he is seen 4 other times on camera, the fact being just a standard white boy with brown hair was seen walking up staircase. The DNA on the...
I mean, I have seen the photos. It's like, gotta be him. It's like 99% Tyler Robinson. I feel like Candace Owens is maybe a little bit like white people racist. She thinks all white people look the same. You know what I mean? Maybe maybe it's like a little bit of reverse racism from her, because like, yeah, he's got a pretty distinct face for her to be like just a standard white guy, brown hair, same shoes, blah blah blah. It's just like, no, it's him.
Roof, we should discuss that. And on the screwdriver that he left behind, it's overwhelming, man.
Yeah, but that's not an exhaustive list.
Well, just so we're clear, you did tweet it.
But it's not an exhaustive.
Yeah,
well,
but just
you
5
said
seconds ago, you should concede.
You said I only said this one thing and said that was overwhelming, actually.
That's not what I said.
It is. You could even
Patrick,
pull your own
did I
clip.
say that?
Can you fact check if that was said or not? I did not hear her say
So the
this.
thing is funny here is like we still aren't getting to any of these inferences. So
Why are you pivoting? But just say you were wrong. It's cool to just say I was wrong. I did say it.
I'm not wrong. So back to the tweet. The tweet
She's just laughing at him.
aspect here. It was really funny. That's not an exhaustive list of why I find it.
I didn't say it was exhaustive. I just said you said it.
And on top of well, no, you didn't. You said that I only said this one thing, and then said based on that it's over. Well, I didn't. You didn't mention that I mentioned the screwdriver, DNA, all of these other things. You never mentioned any of that. So no, you're actually incorrect there. But on top of that, moving over to the actual evidence.
So, no, I think you'll find that this restaurant does not have a policy against about how much food I'm required to buy. If I want to sit here for hours, there's no time limit. I checked the website. Now, I will be playing my online Magic the Gathering competition for the next 4 hours. It's a very big day for me, and I would appreciate another glass of water with ice. And no, I will not be paying.
Are you
Yes, I'm okay. Anyway, back to the evidence
you're
itself.
okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
That's the part. Okay, that's the part I wanted to show. She goes, "Are you?" He goes, "Yes, I'm okay." It's like, okay, dude. Like, she wasn't gonna ask, "Are you okay?" Like, he just. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. He's like, "I know what you're gonna say, and it does seem like I'm flipping out a little bit, but actually, I am factually correct." And let's just hear that. Let's just hear that again.
Oh, no, you're actually incorrect there. But on top of that, moving over to the actual evidence itself. Yes, I'm okay. Anyway, back to the evidence
if you're
itself.
okay.
Yes,
Actually, I'm glad you're asserting that you're okay. I wasn't worried about your health. I'm just saying that I just said you tweeted this. You said, no, I didn't. We got a fact check. And now you're like just going to gaslight me and pretend that I said.
There's no gaslighting.
It wasn't exhaustive. I never said that. I just said you did say this.
Zero gaslighting.
I didn't say you couldn't have said more, but I would like to address what you said in that tweet.
This is your time. If this is how you want to spend it interrogating my position, you can do it that way.
I'm just
it's a debate. What do you mean?
Addressing what you asserted on your Twitter was like the hard evidence that convinced you it was overwhelming. That's literally your debate claim.
That's not what you said.
Yeah, PBD does very little. I mean, I feel like he's kind of zoned out for most of it. To be fair, I would be too. I would be terrible at that job. I can't if I'm not involved in a conversation, I tune out real quick. I try not to. But if they're like, "Can we fact check that?" I'd be like, "Totally." What was it again? Can you say describe fully what I'm fact checking? Like,
that's not actually, in fact, what happened in that exchange.
Okay, buddy. All right. She just keeps getting him on that. Okay. Oh, I should have played this. There's a part in the excuse me, in the opening Joe Rogan thing. Where where was it? Oh, hang on. Or actually, I think it was a different Joe Rogan interview. The guy's done like 2 Joe Rogan interviews this year. I guess he must be like very big. I guess he must be very famous.
To just walk off
what's this?
And leave.
Quit it. Hang on. This is perhaps worth pointing out. Perhaps. Owens-Wilson, JRE. Yeah, he was 25-35 11 days ago, and he was 24-44 6 months ago. And it's also confusing because he wore the exact same shirt both times. You know how confused I was trying to find clips for this? I'm like, what the fuck is it? I can tell it's the same episode. No, it's not. The guy only has one nice shirt. Can you imagine how tacky you'd have to be to wear the same shirt to 2 different Joe Rogan interviews 6 months apart? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But okay. Okay. Wait, what the fuck was I looking for again? I don't even remember. I was looking for something. Candace? Yeah, they talked about Candace a little bit. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I don't know. Let's get you got Candace's number. We can ask her.
Kansas is getting
Kansas.
She's getting dragged on Twitter today because she's like, I've lived in Connecticut. I've never seen this much ice on trees, and it's 30 degrees out, and everybody's like, yeah, 30 is freezing.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's ice on trees.
Like,
do you see all the Miss Cleo memes?
Miss Cleo?
Oh, it's so funny.
Who's Miss Cleo?
You don't remember the Miss Cleo?
The psychic?
Yeah, the psychic. They keep on putting the Miss Cleo memes out for Candace because she's a psychic,
Okay, whatever. I didn't really need to show you guys that. But basically, like, there was a bunch of Miss Cleo memes. Like, I don't even really get the joke other than that they're both black, I guess. And she's psychic. Like, I mean, yeah, she has like prophetic dreams, she's like a green dreamer or whatever, like a Targaryen dreamer person. Yeah. And she's black. But like, I feel like there's not quite enough there to make the Miss Cleo thing hit for me. Call Miss Candace now. 1-800-Jew-HATE. First few minutes are free. 20,000 rubles per minute afterwards. I guess it's saying she's paid by Russia? Rubles, that's a Russia thing, right? Or do I need to update my understanding of currencies? But yeah, the dream thing, she does. He talks about it in the debate too, where he's like, "Oh, you heard it in a dream, right?" Because yeah, Candace Owens does some of her evidence. Oops, hang on. Some of this. Sorry, let me start again. He brings up the dreams. He brings up her prophetic dreams in the debate, and it's true. Sometimes some of her evidence about Charlie Kirk literally came to her in a dream, and I feel like it's worthwhile to bring that up. She denies it during the debate, but it is true. I have the proof right here. Here we go.
Charlie was, in fact, an anomaly in the system. It happens rarely. And I don't know that I will live to see another person like him. I want you guys to know something. I want to share this with you. You can take it or you can leave it. Okay. But Charlie was betrayed.
Oh.
I know this. I've known this really since the first second. But
this is from October 7th, 2025. It's from like less than a month after his assassination.
I rarely have vivid dreams. And I did, in fact, have a very vivid one over the weekend. In fact, the last time that I had a super vivid dream, I was pregnant. It tends to happen a lot to women when they're pregnant. But in that dream from 2023, my former producer of the show and I were standing in the control room, and she told me that she was 26 weeks pregnant. This is in the dream. And she told me exactly what month the baby was coming. I asked her in the dream, is it a boy? Is it a girl? And she said, it's a boy. I woke up and I immediately texted my producer in real life, and I said, hey, you're pregnant, just so you know, it's a boy. And then she found out that she
crazy thing to say, but
was pregnant 1 week later. She had no idea when I texted her. And it's something that we reflected on a couple of months later because she was just totally shocked looking back on it. And this is our text chain from, you can see.
You texted me and I think I got pregnant. You texted me 6/16 and I think I got pregnant 6/26. And that it was a boy is nuts. I'm telling you, your baby visited me. It was an insanely vivid dream. He was on his way. Okay, well, then it turns out she wasn't pregnant when you sent that text. She probably got pregnant because she's your employee and she thought you'd be mad if she thought you would assume she had an abortion. Wait, you're not, you must have had an abortion. That's against our values. I saw, your baby came to me in a dream.
2023, she said, you texted me June 16th. And I think I got pregnant June 26th. This is crazy. And it's going to be a boy. It's nuts. I said, I'm telling you.
Okay, whatever. We don't need to read the whole thing. She goes on about this. She sort of gives herself credibility. Yes, I have magical dreams. I'm magic.
Charlie came to me and he told me.
And then here's the dream about Charlie. He came to her and he told her.
He was betrayed.
He was betrayed.
And so for me.
Avenge me. Avenge me. Candace, it's me, Charlie Kirk. I was betrayed. Change my mind. Candace, my last wish is for you to psychologically terrorize my wife in front of the world. Please, Candace, only you can do it. You're my only hope for my unfinished business. I'm a ghost. Ooh. Yeah. Candace never texts anything private to her because she constantly is leaking DMs. She's constantly doing it. She did it with fucking Andrew Wilson in this debate. Anyway, yeah, right here. She leaked his DMs with him. Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. Anything you send her, it will be put on Twitter in the most deranged way possible. But anyway, okay. So sorry. All that is to say, he vaguely, I think he should have made a bigger deal of it because that is fucking ridiculous that her evidence, I know for a fact he was betrayed. Here's how. I'm basically a wizard and I know things that happen to me in dreams turn out to be real. One time, here's an example of that being true. And I had a dream Charlie Kirk said, by the way, you gotta make a big deal out of this. I was betrayed. He didn't say by who. He was like, that'd spoil the fun. But he did tell me he was betrayed, and that's where I'm going with. So Andrew had brought up earlier, you see things in dreams, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just saying all this so you guys can get her burn on him. She turns it around on him right here.
In the staircase.
Why are you calling him Tyler Robinson in the staircase? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, because, I mean, we'll just use this. If you don't agree that that's Tyler Robinson, then you would just have to humor me. I think it is, so I'm using the name.
But why do you think it is? Because you make everybody, you call them conspiracy theorists. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So if you're asking for my inference why I think it's Tyler Robinson, is because Tyler Robinson said in his text messages, you'll be able to see me on security footage at the campus. Said it in his own messages. On top of that, twigs, yes, you can pull them up if you want to fact check that. He did say.
Yeah, I would. I'm sorry. I actually think I really did miss that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember him saying you're going to see me in.
I'm paraphrasing, but it was close to it.
Yeah, I think that's not right.
And by the way, Twigs himself said that he had
some on the staircase.
That he had some, maybe a tiny bit of doubt, but it sure looked like Tyler Robinson inside of this various surveillance footage that he saw.
So Lance. Sorry.
Hang on. So there's multiple reasons why it is that I believe that that's Tyler Robinson, not just because of blurry footage.
Did you have a dream? Just kidding.
No, it's because I combined multitudes of evidences.
Did you have a dream? Yeah, and then he again, he can't quite figure out when she's making a joke. You know, he can't figure out when she's making a joke, and she's like, "No, I didn't see it in a dream. I have multitudes of evidences." His exact words. I have multitudes of evidences. I have this somewhere. Just so that we can see what the hell they're talking about. The photos, the security camera footage from, yes, here we go. Well, I guess, yeah, the best one to look at would be the interview with Luna Twiggs, aka Lance Twiggs, who they're referring to. I call her Luna. She seems to be fine going by either one, but it does seem to me from reading the text and, seeing some of the evidence that she does seem to be like a trans woman who's in the process of transitioning and isn't fully, out of the closet to everyone or something like. I mean, I guess she kind of is now, but you'll notice all of these people will make a point of calling her Lance and using he, him pronouns, which, I don't know. To be fair, they do go by Lance in this interview here, but I think it's clear to me, or it's at least most likely to me that that's not the case. So here's the part of the interview that they're talking about where she's looking at these photos of her boyfriend, or, of somebody who looks like her boyfriend. And he goes, "Does this look like Tyler Robinson?" And she's like, seeing these top three, which are of his back. And she's like, "I don't know, maybe." But then he scrolls down. So
here on the screen, you see these, looks like there's 2 rows of 3 images. Mm-hmm. Do you recognize the person in these images?
I wouldn't say it with 100% certainty just because of camera quality, but that looks like him in terms of the shoes he's wearing, the sunglasses, I don't think I'd specifically seen him wearing that hat, but he was usually wearing a hat.
So then he scrolls down and you can see the bottom three, which are of the front of him.
And then jeans. So it definitely, especially the bottom, the last two, definitely do look like him.
Like, if you've seen Tyler Robinson, and let me just get a picture of the guy, it matches up. It matches up. The guy, he's got kind of like a distinct sort of whatever chin shape. Like he's got a recognizable face, I think. His skull shape is distinct in a way. And like when I look at these, I'm like, yeah, that looks like him. So when he's looking at the top ones, definitely the shoes. And then Candace will just focus on that. Oh, she said that he had this, or he said he had the same shoes. No, that's not enough. No. Oh, the shoes are the same. No, it's a different guy. It's a different guy for sure. Cuck chin? I don't know. I don't know about that. What does that even mean? But where were we? All right, so that's what they're talking about here.
Footage.
Did you have a dream?
Did you have a dream?
Just kidding.
No, it's because I combined multitudes of evidences.
Okay, so let's address those multitude of...
I didn't have a dream. No, I knew it from the logic and facts and multitudes of evidences. No, don't say that.
Evidences. The first one we're working on a fact check on because I do not ever remember him tweeting. That's me in the or texting.
Didn't tweet it.
Texting that.
Anyway, they do look it up, and it turns out Andrew is right. But Candace just kind of blows past it. It's like, I think this is the one time in the debate where he's actually right about something to do with the case, and she gets it wrong. Moving on, we're going to jump like an hour ahead. I don't even remember what part this was. Let's hear.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the almost desperate lies about Charlie shifting opinion on Israel lead us to believe that there could be an Israeli angle in this. But we cannot say for certainty that Israel called the shots and this is how it happened. But it is definitively, I think, a thread that a lot of us would like to see.
There's no positive evidence.
I whatever you want to say, however positive.
Like, I don't even know what he's yeah. Chill Goblin doesn't know what a cuck chin is. True. Is that a thing? Cuck chin? But I don't even know. He's also, another thing I don't know. He's like, so there's no positive evidence. And she's like, you can tell Candace has no idea what he's talking about either. I mean, I don't know. Is that a term? Positive evidence? Should I look it up? But I don't know. He's such a debate bro. Proof of the fact or point in issue as distinguished from circumstantial proof. Proof that it, if believed, establishes the truth or falsity of a fact in issue and does not arise from a presumption. Okay, so it's like actually like proving, like you don't have any real evidence that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm.
Negative, however you want to say it.
Well, like positive evidence would
have
be
a conversation.
Material evidence and other evidences, which would
what
point
we've said
you to
is on our show is what we said, which is this feels
already like I don't care. I don't care about your definition of what positive evidence is. Okay, man. I talk on my show and I appeal to a very, common sense narrative, and I kind of say a lot of ridiculous things, but I make it seem as though, yes, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt. This was done by not just Israel, but the French and the Egyptians, and all three of them working in tandem, probably to get at me most of all, because I was currently being sued by the French First Lady. And they did it together with a exploding mic that burst into pieces. And you can see little black things on the floor of the van, which can only be an exploded mic. And that is what happened for sure. Like, oh my God. Like if I were in his shoes, I would have gone at this in a totally different way. I really feel like he didn't do enough research here. He didn't do enough research on either the case or on the batshit insane shit that Candace Owens has been saying about it. Because in both of these topics, he's completely, flubbing it.
A conspiracy building. There's no reason to lie about these things, and yet people are lying. BB ain't acting right. the Hamptons thing was weird, and the way they tried to shove the Israel narrative down our throat immediately. I mean, the day he died, posting a picture of him with an American and Israeli AI'd photo on the president's feed doesn't feel right. So.
Do you have any evidence that Erica Kirk or TPUSA participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I've never said they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk, so how could I say that I have evidence they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
So she's really walking her fucking confidence back. Like, I don't know. I didn't get a whole ton of evidence here, but like, it was not difficult to find. I found this at least. What did I get here? I found this. Today's episode will be positively explosive. Might even free a young man who's being wrongly framed for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Note the people who sold you fed slop. They're going to have a terrible, terrible week. Like, she's been very certain that Tyler Robinson is innocent. He's being wrongly framed for this murder. That's like, yes, it was Israel. Yes, it was whatever. Like, but she's walking it back. You know, she's trying. It's interesting. Like, I'm not sure why, because it's like, yeah, it opens her up to like legal consequences, but like no more than just saying that shit on her show. I believe she never explicitly said Erica or TPUSA was involved, just heavily implied it. Is that right? Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like I remember her being pretty sure about it.
Okay. So then you don't believe that they did?
I never have said that statement, so I'm not going to get you to ask me personal questions about things that I've never said on record.
Okay, fair.
Your team is sending messages in the back saying they have a video they want to play.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what the video is.
Your team's sending messages saying they have a video they want to play. I don't know what it is. Hits play. Happy birthday, Andrew Wilson. I hope the debate's going well. He's got a little pre-made song. Happy birthday. It's his birthday that day, I guess, in this reimagining. Great job, team. Great job, Team Andrew.
Yes, you said that there's a video you want to play that Candace said she has full confidence Israel was involved.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. He said evidence that they killed him. I said this is why people think their involvement.
So she can
I'm not saying Israel killed him, but I do believe they were involved.
Clip.
Yeah,
they can play the clip.
Yeah.
They're referring to a clip.
Yeah. Via whom? My guess is Pierre. Erica. I think that there's a reason Pierre knew that Charlie was dead first. I think there's...
Who's Pierre? Is he a French guy? His name's Pierre. Or is he like Turning Point USA? Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens. Let me just see if I can find this. Who the fuck is Pierre? Pierre Falcone. Yeah, okay, a French businessman. Okay, yeah. So this was part of her whole French fucking conspiracy theory that she folded into this. Awesome. Where were we? The great debate.
There's a reason he was a priority. How? Why? I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Look at the CIA Stanley Cup. That is like if you had to sum up Candace Owens' show in one little piece of, merch and like paraphernalia, it's this. It's like Alex Jones for the Women's Network,
Nation. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
But I'm going to put that out there with full confidence. Even more insane than saying that it was Israel. No, it was this fucking random French businessman. What the fuck are you? What? Like, this should have been the focus. You might not be able to convince people on like the Israel thing, but like, dude, that is not the tip of the iceberg of the shit she's been saying, man. Anyway.
Okay.
She actually looks kind of upset about this. She's like looking at this. Remember when like Ted Lieu played her saying that the Holocaust was okay or whatever? Like, Hitler wasn't so bad until he went outside of Germany. It's like her kind of like, fuck, this motherfucker's using my own words against me. No one does that except for me.
Okay.
I also involvement.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you think you with full confidence you think that
I think Israel's
France
involved.
and Israel.
Yeah. I mean the person.
He really is manspreading over here, though. I didn't even notice that. Also, check out the bounce on the body language over here. Let's be body language experts on Andrew Wilson as he sits here.
And that gave me that thing that I reported, said that French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day. Mm-hmm. Again, this would be at a professional limitation for me to
The French Foreign Legion was on the ground that day. What the fuck are you talking about?
Go and probe that information that I handed over. I can't do that. I'm not the United States government.
But you don't have any positive evidence of that,
okay.
right?
Liz, can you just stop? It's actually just like annoying to hear you keep saying positive evidence. I've just asked me what I think.
Yeah,
I've just
no one knows what the fuck that means, dude. Who cares? Like, this is the Candace Owens thing is like, that's interesting. Oh, what do you think about that? This makes you raise an eyebrow. And then combining all those together in one great big pile of eventually to her and to her audience and to many people, that becomes evidence. I found another weird thing. So many weird things couldn't happen unless there was a really weird thing. And I think that really weird thing is Israel, Egypt, and France teamed up to murder Charlie Kirk, and they framed a trans furry whatever guy. It's crazy.
Tell you, yes, I think they are
that's
involved.
A claim.
It's actually like a testament.
I said,
like, Candace Owens is obviously, doesn't have a lot of what we would traditionally be called intelligence, but she is so good at this. She's so good at this. And this is like not just debating, but appearing reasonable. She's able to say this crazy shit. She doesn't come off like Alex Jones. She doesn't come off like a, like bloviating, like insane man, She comes off like a calm, rational person, even as she says the most insane shit. Like, even Alex Jones will tell Candace she needs to dial it back. Like he says on his show, he's like, no, I would, like, Candace said this. That's going pretty far out there. That's a little bit crazy, don't you think? I think you're making a lot of assumptions.
Here's what I think.
I have every right to ask you about your claim.
Yeah, but
and if there's positive evidence
in
for
this
your
statement,
claim.
I literally just said, I think, and I am allowed to think. And
yeah,
you
you're
keep
allowed
saying,
to think,
do you have
but you're
positive
making a
evidence?
claim.
I have tons of positive evidence that I'm allowed to think.
I agree. You're allowed to think.
Okay. So,
nobody's disputing whether or not Candace Owens is allowed to think. What I'm asking is if you have
what's your issue then? What is your issue with the statement?
Evidence.
I think that Israel is involved.
That's not just what you said. You said
I did say
it's with full confidence.
Yes.
You would think that if you had full
confidence. You have confidence to think when you think?
If I said, for instance, I think I'm going to be late to work, right, with full confidence, I would say my evidence for that is that I'm 20 minutes away and I need to be there in 5.
Andrew.
That's how you...
Okay. Andrew.
You would know whether or not you had full confidence.
I'm going to tell you something.
Hang on, let me finish.
Sure.
Let me finish. If it was the case that I said I have full...
Let me finish. The guy who interrupts constantly, like... I got no sympathy for you.
Confidence I'm going to be late to work. I would say my evidence that I'm going to be is that work is 20 minutes away.
Sorry, Rod, I missed what you're referring to here. You're coming off as ignorant as Andrew Wilson. Was that about something specific that I said? I mean, I'm sure it must have been. But what did I get wrong there?
Right, and I have to be there in 5. So I have full confidence. That's why.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Oh, I think I forgot to get an important one here. Hang on. Where are we going here? Oh yeah, this is just another good burn from her. Because he's like, no, you have to understand what the difference is between positive evidence and circumstantial evidence. You see, a good point that could be relevant to the discussion, but made in the most annoying, like, fucking hall monitor way.
Think Israel is ultimately going to be proven to have involvement in this. I just explained to you in the middle, and now you're wanting me to structure the sentence or provide evidence. You don't have to. You're just allowed to think, and I've explained to you my thought process. I don't need to structure it in a sentence. If you feel like a professor today, you picked the wrong day.
Don't you think that, like, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people...
You feel like being a professor today? It's so good.
Would want to know what Candace Owens' positive evidence for why it is that Israel and France were involved in the most traumatic public assassination of Gen Z's lifetime is?
That's why they watch my podcast.
So you're just going to drip to them? Like, here's why I think
dripping.
that?
Every time we come across any of these discussions, they're watching this in context and they know why I'm saying it. So, for example, when you're bringing up, well, Candace, where's your evidence for France doing this? I just told you someone who is high ranking in the French government, right?
Who's nameless.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
But
so there's good reason to doubt this.
So it's not a conspiracy, though, if I then took it to the federal government. Like, you can't just go out there making a claim to the federal government. You get in trouble for making false statements and things of that nature. So, and then you go, well, I'm going to probe that. Well, how can you probe that? This happened to me.
I can ask you, well, that's not what I'm probing specifically.
This is my podcast. I am sharing my life and my experiences and what has happened to me. And you're basically coming in like you're going to, regulate how I'm allowed to say it, if I'm allowed to.
All right, gang. Okay, I got to take a real quick break. I'm going to put you in the capable hands of David Graeber and oh, wait, no, we already watched this. Okay, great. Crap. I'm going to put you in the capable hands of Brett Scott. And I'll just watch this video on, sure. Tech doesn't make our lives easier, just makes them faster. 1 minute. Be right back.
We're often told that technology makes our lives easier, but in this video, I'm going to show that technology actually just makes our lives faster. Technology is an accelerant rather than a relaxant, and that makes a pretty big difference. So we have far more technology than any other generation in human history, and it allows us to do things in a fraction of the time that it would have taken our ancient ancestors to do things. It must surely follow then that we must be the most relaxed generation of all time. Agree? Now you might find that claim a bit dubious, but if adverts are to be believed, AI, digital payments, self-driving cars, and automation in general are only there to make our lives easier. We carry in our pockets a powerful computer that can take on the role of pretty much everything. Your personal navigator, your translator, your matchmaker, meditation teacher, your banker. And with so many of our tasks automated, our leisure time must surely have greatly expanded, right? Now, it does matter how we frame this question. If you ask, are we working less than before, research is ambiguous. In rich countries, people work less than laborers who toiled during the 19th century Industrial Revolution, but more than our ancient ancestors would. If you ask, though, are we more chilled out than ever, the answer is no. Many people feel that their lives are frenetic. We're not only expected to work a lot, we're actually expected to consume a lot. Many people feel strung out, stressed out, and burned out. It's important to realize that there's more to work than the amount of time spent doing it. If you were to carve a wooden door frame for 10 hours in the 1600s, it's a very different emotional experience to jumping between 100 emails or meetings and microtasks for full hours in 2026. Levels of workplace burnout have been
Okay, so just coming back here, Rod, I see you're talking about the Israel stuff, the Google trending spikes, which they don't even mention in the debate. I would say that I remember when, James Lee got into that. A lot of people were posting the Israel spikes for a lot of stuff. So I'll give you my opinion on it. Like Andrew Wilson says at the beginning of this debate, everybody has their own opinion. Certain people are convinced by certain things. For some people, when one man's overwhelming evidence is another man's not convincing bullshit. You know what I mean? And I too was intrigued when I first saw these Google trending spikes, where people in Israel, someone in Israel had Googled Utah like a month before the shooting, or Googled Charlie Kirk, or Googled specific things like the doctor who performed Kirk's autopsy. I can't even quite remember, but I remember there's a bunch of things where it seemed like that's so bizarre that someone in Israel was searching for these things that had to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination a month before, or just a few months earlier. That's weird. And it was sort of this thing that kept happening around that time, where people in the conspiracy world kept pointing to Google Trends spikes, mostly from Israel, but they would also use it for other things. For example, Candace Owens would use it to say that France had an involvement. Candace was really, really into the France angle. And people are using it for all sorts of things. The problem is Google Trends are actually really, really, they're not that useful at all, but they really are only useful when it's a high volume search that you're doing. I have used them in my research. When I was researching Pizzagate, I was like, wow, a lot of the people talking about Pizzagate early on seem to be bots on Twitter. Like, it doesn't seem like many real people are posting about Pizzagate early on. But when I looked at Google Trends, I could see the amount of people searching for like Hillary Clinton pedophile. And you could actually see that line going up and up and up. It doesn't, the annoying thing about Google Trends, it doesn't give you the amount. It just gives you a number from 0 to 100. You don't know what that number means. 100 is like the maximum, 0 is minimum. So if one person searches, it'll shoot up to 100. You know, but then if the next day 2 people searches, then that'll be the new 100 and the previous day will be 50. And it's well known in the, I don't know, Google Trends analytic community that you cannot rely on Google Trends for low volume searches. It's only really information at all that's valuable for high volume searches. And for the Israel searches people were looking at, it would be like 0.000000000, and then one day it would spike up to 100 and then go back down to 0.0000000. And that means that like probably, well, I mean, if the Google Trends thing works, that would mean, okay, so that would be probably one person searched that one day. The other thing though is Google Trends glitches out a lot and will give you those results. And I remember when I started seeing those trends things posted, I myself searched it up. I went to Google Trends and I was like, let me see if I can find it on this same time period. And it wasn't there. The same searches I was seeing other people do. And even when I was researching Pizzagate, different days when I would search the same range, the same whatever, same search terms, the same date range, I would get different, slightly different looking results. And I think that sometimes Google Trends just hallucinates, for lack of a better word, searches that didn't happen. You can use the same technique of isolating certain terms, certain stretches of time to prove that there were searches in Canada, the same whatever distance. Like, I don't know if this is worth going into. I do find this stuff kind of interesting, but let's just like quickly try to do it. Google Trends. Because there are certain things in the conspiracy movement, and I'm not saying like I know for sure that Israel didn't kill Charlie Kirk. I don't know that. I personally don't think that that's likely, but I don't have any positive evidence proving that they didn't do it. You know, I can't, it's hard to prove a negative, of course, but I just am saying I don't think the Google Trends charts prove that, if that makes sense. So let's just search Charlie Kirk. Why not? I forget what the ones that James Lee was showing. Charlie Kirk. Okay, look at this. And what am I searching in? Canada. This is in all of Canada. And what's the range here? It goes back to 26. Oh, no, sorry. In the past 24 hours. Let's go from 2004 to the present. Let's try that. So all the way through from 2004 to like, apparently in Canada, nobody searched Charlie Kirk at all until 2025 July. There's a massive spike. That's weird. I mean, that's for sure not true. I mean, I know that, yeah, I would expect that to be the biggest spike, but definitely people searched him from like, well, he's been in the public eye since like 2016. Let's try Israel. What happened? Israel, 2004 to present. Okay, now this one we get like a little bit of movement down here. But again, like I was saying, these aren't actual numbers. Like we're not getting a number of searches. We're just getting, it just shows you 0 to 100. What does that mean? I don't know. What are the things that, yeah, sure. Kukchin. Let's try that. Kukchin. None. Okay, none. None in Israel. Israel doesn't know about Kukchin yet. Let's try Canada. Nope, none. All right, you guys are making up words, I think. But like, fuck, I wish I remembered. I mean, I can probably just Google this right now. Charlie Kirk, Israel, Google Trends spike. God, I don't know. Hopefully this gives us what we... Crossroads report, why were people in Israel searching Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson last February? Perfect. Okay. So here we go. And so here's what the actual searches were. And this is a screenshot. This is not, I'm not seeing like a live result here, but we have all the information. So this is Brian Harpole. This is Israel. And we've got the date range, 7/1/24 to 12/31/24. Let's try it. 7/1. Wait, how do I custom range? What was it again? 7/1/24. I don't remember. Sorry, one sec. 7/1/24, 12/31/24. 7/1/24 to 12/31/24. Okay. Oh wait, what did I do here? What did I do wrong? Date, month. Huh? What did I do wrong? 12/31. Oh, it should supposed to be 31/12. Oh, because I guess I have it on Canada. 31/12. Yeah, we do our dates a little bit differently over here. Wait, what? That's not before 2000. Oh, 2024. Why is it giving me different fucking instructions for both of them? I don't get it. Oh, also I got to change this. Oh, jeez. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. No, I think we got it now. Okay, so now look. No results. That's weird. Oh, wait. No, sorry. That's for Kukchin. Wait, hang on. What was it again? Brian Harpole. Brian Harpole. And I know, okay, I guess like the obvious response to this would be like, yeah, because Google took them away. Okay, fair. But like I have searched I can tell you from personal experience, I have searched for 2 different things on Google Trends in the same day and gotten different results. Like Google Trends is not a reliable thing. But and sorry, this is Canada. I'm doing this wrong again. Israel. There we go. Okay, now we are looking at the thing from the thing. What else did they get here? Brian Harpole. This is Israel. Was that it? Okay, Lance Twiggs. Let's try Lance Twiggs. Let's just try it. I know there was like a bunch of different searches that people use to show this. Lance Twiggs. And this probably has been, that Google has like specifically corrected this. But let's say worldwide. Worldwide, Lance Twiggs. Nothing. It would be more convincing, I know, if I was able to actually... Antarctica, any? No. Albania. Skoder County, Albania, no. Cook Islands, no, nothing. I mean, okay. What else was there? Tyler Robinson. The YouTuber named Baron Coleman. I guess this is the guy who originated this. But this became like a really useful tool. Like I wish there was like a name for this. I wish there was a name for this sort of thing, because there are many different things in this category. Maybe I can coin a name for it, but like I would describe it as like pseudo research where it looks convincing. Like this is a graph. We trust graphs. We've all seen graphs in math class, we've seen this stuff. And it's like, this looks like real research, but it's not really. It's finding a glitch in the Google Trends, whatever, algorithm and using it to be like, hey, isn't it weird that someone in Israel was looking for Tyler Robinson on these days? When it's really, you can just keep searching and you'll eventually find shit like this. And you'll search it another time during the same day or the same week and you'll get a different result. I would say like another example of this would be like the Pizzagate code words. Where it's like, look, we found their secret code. Look, pedophiles really do say cheese pizza when they meant child pornography. And look at all the times they mention pizza, but here they mean something different. And like, it's a way of, you can find evidence, like this sort of pseudo proof evidence in places where it doesn't actually prove anything. There's so many things like this. What else was, like if Google Trends was a reliable way of proving that someone in this country was actually making these searches, you would think that you would see this sort of evidence in more places than just conspiracy theories, right? But really, like, it isn't that useful, Cook Islands I'm looking for, but like I specifically remember, like I wish I could show you guys, but I remember searching it in Israel and it wasn't there, and then I searched Canada and I did see a spike. I was like, what? That's crazy. But the more like, let me just, okay, I'll look up, are Google Trends reliable? Let's just find from a source. Is Google Trends reliable? How accurate is Google Trends? How accurate and reliable is Google Trends? I think what we'll find here is not really that thing. Hey, also thank you, High on Yo Ass. I appreciate the $4.99 US. You the man. High on Yo Ass. Bill Ackman and his friends threatened Charlie Kirk over Israel. Interesting. I may have... Yeah, they should have compared Israel to some other random countries for the same time period. Yeah, that would be interesting. And the Rod, you're saying these are like different searches that you could type in to Google Trends? I mean, I'm sure. Yeah. So the data that we see, the 100 to 0 scale, is relative search volume. It shows the popularity of a search term in relation to all searches during a specific period. So we're not actually getting search numbers. Factors influencing reliability, sudden spikes. Events causing sudden spikes in search volume may not be immediately captured by Google Trends due to processing delays. This can lead to a misrepresentation of ongoing trends. Low volume searches. For privacy reasons, Google Trends may not display data for queries with very low search volumes. This can lead to gaps in data for niche topics. Topic bundling. Google Trends groups related queries into topics, which can sometimes obscure individual search term performance. This bundling can lead to misinterpretations if users are unaware of how queries are grouped. Honestly, like, Google Trends is not really that useful in general, but especially for low volume searches, you might see things like a sudden spike in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah, now, I mean, you know what? I feel like this is an interesting enough topic that I'm not really doing it justice right now. If I were to prepare something, I feel like I could do a whole stream on this type of thing, and I'd be able to give you guys better information than just, oh, this is the first page I Googled. But yeah, I know these things were very convincing for like a time, but I think they've kind of fallen off recently. But I mean, hey, good question. And you know, like I say, I don't have proof of anything here. I don't have positive evidence, but I do think that the Google Trends as evidence, I don't think that they're super valid, if that makes sense. It's not just about Google Trends. There's so much more. Okay, fair enough. I'm not sure. I mean, you know, I've seen a lot of the arguments here, but anyway, just to get back to this, we're almost done. We don't have too much left to go for. Wrong day, Professor. Did Erica kill Charlie? Oh no, there was something else I wanted to show you guys too. I think I forgot to put the time code here. One sec. 1 minute. Oh, come on. Where is it? I just had it. I swear to God. Hang on. Okay, whatever. I'll find it in this. I'll just find it in the transcript. We'll do it live. 1 second. Yeah. So this is oh wait, I think there is actually one clip first. Did we just watch that? I'm all over the place. Okay, now so I do want to play this one here. All right, never mind about anything I just said. I want to play this one here where he gets like very explicit. He's like, do you think?
One thing though that I want to just directly ask you is, do you actually believe that anybody in TPUSA or Erica Kirk or Erica actually participated, had foreknowledge of, or facilitated the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I'm not going to get myself into a legal pickle here. Everything I've said is on my podcast. I think firmly that if I was the investigating officers, I would seat them all and I would ask questions. I would at this phase. I would.
Okay,
so
what does
using
that
a hypothetical,
Does that mean that you do think so?
I think it was not a sufficient.
So she doesn't want to get herself into a legal pickle here. But I mean, like she has said, like they played earlier in the thing, her saying like, I'm saying this with full confidence. Blah, blah, blah. Erica Kirk.
Investigation into what we know to be true of 80%.
I would like to think that like for someone to go this hard against your late best friend's wife, you would have to be pretty sure. You have to be pretty sure before you do like a 9-part series called Bride of Charlie about her being evil.
Of homicides, it's usually conducted by someone you know, right? And the fact that that was never even considered, that like I said earlier, the backpack was returned.
How do you know that was never considered?
Because they gave back the backpack as just one example. They gave back the backpack. They gave back the.
Well, I think he's right here to challenge her on that, because that doesn't mean that it was never considered. Just because they gave them back this piece of evidence, that is weird for cops to do that. Generally, if cops take something as a piece of evidence, you're never going to see it again. But I think cops are kind of on TPUSA's side. They like Charlie Kirk, whatever they. They didn't want to look bad. They were asked, Erica Kirk asked for this backpack back or whatever, the microphone, like all these different props that they've used at rallies. And the cops were like, okay, sure, here you go. They wouldn't do that for you or me. So yeah, that is weird. But for Candace, it's like, seems like they didn't even want to look at the evidence. Which also, to be fair, I mean, the cops just do a bad job in general.
That doesn't show a conspiracy.
Well, I mean, it shows that the police trusted everybody and didn't just hold things up for a second.
Yeah, they ruled them out as suspects.
That quickly, I'm not comfortable with that investigation. It's a pretty big organization. There's a $100 million incentive. This is...
What $100 million incentive?
What I'm saying is his organization, like it had grown to, I think it was 100 million.
Plus per year.
Yeah, per year. If that's something you want to back up,
but
that's fine.
Your team wants to play video, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
There's a video they want to play of Candace said it's impossible to not believe Erica's complicit. If you guys want to play that video.
Yeah. Could also just ask.
And so right now their guys are going out and they're going to look for evidence. And then by May, which is fortunately around the corner, then she'll see what they found. So what the F is that performance? How could you sit up there and say, yes, I 100% believe Tyler Robinson did it. That right there is why it is impossible for me to think that Erica Kirk is not complicit somehow. Because
those two thoughts actually don't even...
It is impossible for me to believe that Erica Kirk is not complicit somehow. I mean, that's pretty, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, credit to him and his team for getting that clip. Because she is just kind of getting away with, like, rewriting history a little bit. No, I never said that. Why would I have evidence? Because that's never something I said. It's like another fucking half hour later, they get a clip of her saying it. But she's so assertive with her very unfounded theories all the time. So it is a little nice. It's nice when both of them look bad, I think. But it is a little nice when Candace gets confronted with a clip like that. But she handles it very well, I will say.
Even follow. How would it be the case that even if Erica Kirk did believe that Tyler Robinson was 100% responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk, let's just say she believed it with every fiber of her being, believed all the evidence, because she did. She just actually did. Would it then follow that somehow she's complicit in his death?
I didn't say complicit in death.
This goes on.
You added those.
This goes on for a long, long time. They don't really get anywhere, but there is a really fucking crazy moment. So I'm going to go ahead to, I don't know, about here. Normally I like to say the timestamps, but it's somewhere around here. Let's watch.
Gut feeling? You think?
It transformed when she lied.
You can take the lead. I'm just asking questions.
Yes.
I don't for it.
This is still about Erica Kirk.
I actually I still don't understand what you think she's complicit in.
Yeah, so when I say Erica's complicit, that's my opinion. When you tweeted Erica's too retarded to kill her husband, would you like to explain how you developed your evidence, your positive evidence for the fact that Erica was retarded?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, so this is the guy, that was his big theory exonerating Erica Kirk. And this is his thing, his whole fucking show is about him. You get to watch this guy berate women, berate OnlyFans girls. And for a lot of people, that's really entertaining. For a lot of people love seeing that. And so here is his thing about why Erica Kirk is innocent. I'm sure TPUSA and Erica Kirk really appreciated that, man. Yeah. So, okay, she's like, what's your positive evidence for that?
Your positive evidence for the fact that Erica was retarded?
Yeah, sure. So I just think all women are retarded.
Oh, so you're allowed to just say stuff. Who knew? So, and by the way, what dramatically transformed your opinion?
You just asked me, and you look like a fucking moron, dude. You look so stupid. Oh my God. But he believes women shouldn't vote. Women should blah, blah, blah. This guy is a fucking misogynist. This is like a misogynist from like fucking a century and a half ago. This guy is a time traveling women hater. And here he is trying to grill Candace for not having it. But where's your positive evidence for these things you're saying? Oh, you don't have a blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the guy just fucking, it's hard to imagine a worse look right now. Yeah, what a meeting of the minds. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, moving on. This is probably the most viral clip. You guys might have seen this already. I'm just going to let it roll.
Yeah, I'm fine with closings if you want to do closings.
Well, I also would just,
So they're about to do closing statements, and Candace is like, actually, one thing first.
If I may ask a question, is that permitted?
Go ahead.
Just so I also have clarity, since your basis has been evidentiary, you keep saying that you have evidence or like you are following evidence. Which one of the charges against, or all of them, do you think Tyler Robinson is guilty of?
The specific charge?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I think is that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, but of the 7 charges that he's being charged.
Yeah. Can we list them real quick? I'll tell you exactly which ones. We'll pull them up.
Well, do you know any of the charges that he's up for right now?
Yeah, of course. But I want to make sure that we have them listed.
Yeah, but can you name one? Because my general perspective is that you don't.
Oh, you're a real Charlie Kirk fan. Name one of the 7 charges Tyler Robinson is charged with. Name one. She's like gatekeeping here. She's like, oh, you're an expert on the case, yeah? Just name. I just want to hear you name one. Oh, I see you're wearing your fucking Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk t-shirt. Are you a real fan? you ever seen them live?
Actually care about this case. You're not following
the
case.
That's the question. You're just not following it enough.
It seems pretty like if you're going to engage and you're going to say the evidence is overwhelming that Tyler Robinson is guilty, I just think that you should. Like, right. Can you tell me one?
Then let's do the counter. You can really. Yeah, no, this is a great gotcha.
No. You just got to ask me, play clips out of context, put me in the hot seat. So please just answer the question.
This is fair. Name all 7 since you've been following the case.
Okay, sure. You name one.
Yeah, you named all 7.
I'm happy to do that, but can you name one?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay, great. Now name all 7.
He doesn't even. This is like
name all 7.
And I
can you name all 7?
So okay, like you hear it, like this is how he is on his show, interrupting. Oh no, you can't do it. No, you can't do it because you're too dumb, and he doesn't realize he's already fucking caught in this. This is a fucking cat and mouse game. Candace Owens has specifically set the rules for this debate that there is no time limit. He can't run out the clock here. He can interrupt her as much as she wants. She can take as long as she wants to answer him. He can't actually cut her off. His usual avenue for debate is closed to him here. And he so severely underestimates her fucking rhetorical ability that he's like, well, I didn't know it. There's no way she knows it. When it's just like, dude, do you think she would have asked you this if she didn't know the answer herself? She specifically, like, the debate was over. Maybe this was something that she was hoping to, shoehorn in organically earlier. She couldn't. It's right before closing statements, and she's like, actually, can I try one thing I didn't get to do? Can you name one of the 7 charges? I'll name all 7. I do know all 7, but I want to know if you can name one. And then he can't name one. He's still so confident that she can't either. He's like, duh, she's a lady. She's a lady like Erica Kirk. That means she's dumb. John, I'm pretty sure she won't, since I'm a man, I have a bigger brain. Her little brain couldn't hold the 7 charges either. And it's just like, bro, you are an idiot. You are so out of your fucking league right now.
Can you name one?
I think he's been charged with murder.
That's actually incorrect.
Okay, great. Now name all 7.
He doesn't even
like so confident. Yeah, great. Sure, I didn't know, but I bet you don't know either.
This is like
name all 7.
And I
can you name all 7?
I can.
Then do it.
Sure, you don't have to
do it. No, do it. I'll count them. Go ahead.
You don't
name
have to put your fingers up.
Okay, hang on. Name them.
Yeah, sure.
Name them.
The first charge is aggravated murder because that's what carries a death sentence in the state of Utah. No,
Next.
that's not. That is literally not murder.
Okay.
And
Next.
so just for people, I don't have to do it in a time limit. There's nothing going on. And just to explain to people the difference of why that really matters and shows that he doesn't actually care about this at all is because aggravated murder, it's narrowly defined and because it carries.
He doesn't care about this at all. He's profiting off of the death of Charlie Kirk for the wrong reasons.
A death sentence. I'm going to answer the question.
Okay,
You're just going to recognize that your strategy of thinking that people are intimidated when you try to put a time constraint doesn't work, and you'll be better the next time you debate someone.
I got it. Give me the other ones.
The more you cut me off, the longer I'll take. Do you want to just wait for me to finish of why that's a big difference so that people don't walk away?
No, I just want you to list the charges.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. You just don't get to pretend that there's a time constraint.
And he's like he just keeps interrupting her. And she is like happy to take all day.
For me to do that.
Well, how long does it take you to list 7 charges?
Because I'm speaking. You just got to.
It sounds like you're just delaying it because you don't know them.
I know all 7 of them,
Then
and I'm going to say
them.
again because you're going to get embarrassed. You don't have to rush this.
The more he interrupts her, the dumber he's going to look when she has it.
Also showing an example of a very flawed debate strategy. I actually am under no time constraint.
I got one.
Great. The second charge is the felony discharge of a weapon. The next 2 charges are for obstruction of justice.
Okay.
The next 2 charges are for witness tampering. And the
what's
final.
the specific charges, though?
That is them. Obstruction of justice,
Both
obstruction of justice, witness tampering.
Okay. And there's no other specifics to them.
Well, I can tell you why he's being charged with it.
Just the charges and then 7?
Yeah. See, the bad thing is when you try to be an a-hole and it doesn't work.
What's the 7th?
The last charge is violence in front of a minor.
Okay. Got it. So then he's being charged with murder. You just say aggravated murder. That's the distinction. You just want to.
It's a massive.
PBD's podcast really benefits from being shot above the waist. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess he must be sitting like this all the time. We just never. He's sitting in front of a desk, right? So awesome.
Aggravated murder. That's the distinction. You just want to.
It's a massive.
Still trying to act like he's. Yeah, okay, but aggravated murder is basically the same thing as murder. Well, it's like, yeah, it is. But bro, you lost that. You lost that exchange. You completely lost. God, he was so confident she didn't know. Obviously, she prepared this for you. This was her big moment. It would be so easy to prep this. So easy. Oh, let me memorize all 7. Like, you could do this like 20 minutes before the debate.
You
He cannot fathom the idea that she outsmarted him here. No way.
Not say murder versus aggravated
massive
murder.
Distinction.
This gets to the entire crux of why him being up for the death sentence. And I actually find the defense's filing about why this is not aggravated to be very compelling of why it's not aggravated murder. I actually think that if the state was going to even try to pull this off, they should have charged him with just murder. And then I do also, again, want to stress to audiences that debate strategy of thinking that you have to speak faster or somebody puts your hand up and they try to pretend like it's some sport. I think he thinks it's a blood sport. It's not. It's about being right and being principled when you're engaging. And you can make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, but at least be genuine in pretending that you care about this case enough to know one of the 7 charges that are up against Tyler Robinson when you say the evidence is overwhelming that he's guilty. If you would like to move to final statements, I'm fine. I want to make sure Andrew has had the time that he has requested.
I think your team would like to pull up the 7 charges that he just asked you about. If you guys want to pull that up just to confirm the 7 you went through. Can you guys zoom in a little?
Yeah. It's not even 7 things, it's 5. I mean, two of the counts are, or I guess there's counts 3 and 4 are obstruction of justice, and counts 5 and 6 are tampering with a witness. Yeah. So it is 5 things, but technically, but you should also know which 2 are repeated. Like, whatever. It's such a fucking, like, silly, pointless thing. Like, but it is so embarrassing for him that he couldn't even name one. I mean, I do think it's a little bit splitting hairs, the aggravated murder thing. I mean, I guess you can make the argument Utah, I guess, has a special differentiation between those two charges, but like, he comes off looking so bad. And he bets on the exact wrong thing happening. And here he is. Okay, fuck, I was wrong.
A little bit for
aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, which is counts 3 and 4, 5 and 6, tampering with a witness, and count 7,
violent
offense in the presence of a minor.
In front of a child.
Yeah. So 5, 6, tampering witness, 3rd degree felony. Now I did notice something. I just was
okay. So he's been so humiliated in this already, right? He's like, fuck, Candace Owens memorized 7 things and then specifically asked me to name one. And then I didn't believe she could, and she did name them. He still can't figure out, he can't get it through his head that he did just get outsmarted. He got owned in the marketplace of ideas here. He can't accept it. He's still got to fight it.
curious about, if I'm just wondering, when you pulled out your phone just before you asked that question, did somebody by chance text you that question?
You can check my phone.
If someone texted her that question, she still would have had to know those 7 things, buddy.
Curious.
No, you can absolutely not. I did not.
You seem too dumb to think of this very simple debate tactic.
I have not had one communication.
Yes, you did destroy me, but I don't think you could have done that by yourself. It's like grasping at straws here.
Text you that question?
You can check my phone.
I'm just curious.
No, you can absolutely not. I have not had one communication with a single person, not even my producers who are in there this whole time we were here. You want to check my phone? I'm happy to do it because you're just going to get double embarrassed. Where's my phone?
You want to see it?
I'm just curious. Yeah.
You can literally do that. Here you go. PBD, you're the moderator. Take it.
Let's see
See
it.
if anyone.
PBD's like, what? He's like waking up. Oh, you guys want me to do something? Oh, Candace, I can look through your phone? Can I look through your pics? What? Oh, what are we talking about?
Texted at all during this debate.
All right.
About the violent charges or anything.
I'm looking through this. You give me permission.
You
so I'm
have
looking
full
at, I'm not
permission
gonna
to
give
go through my
names.
phone. I don't need to cheat.
So the last one has nothing to do with it. It's just a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even read my text messages.
That's
so
a compliment.
He's reading them.
You're okay. You're giving me permission.
Yes.
I'm just going to read 3 of them
Yes.
to 1132 because after that, I don't need to read it.
Now you know they're texts. Could have been Telegram. Could have been something
All
like
I
that.
have is Signal. You can check that too. I only have Signal. Telegram I used in Russia.
He's such an idiot. He's so bad at this. It's so
that was
crazy.
it. I downloaded it for
I'll
Russia.
take your word for it.
Yeah.
Then-
I don't need to I
Okay.
deeply care about this case. I don't need to pretend
I get
to
it.
know
If you
stuff that
deeply
I
care
don't
about
know.
the case,
Yeah.
I just, I have my other question is about the steakhouse receipt.
You just said that you were done asking all your questions.
They're supposed to be doing closing statements. Now he's bringing up new shit. Brother. Also, what's up, We're in Hell in the chat. Just here's a big fan of ideas. Aren't we all? Aren't we all big ideas fans?
So,
Yeah.
nothing there.
I don't
Yeah. Do you
need
have
to
the
do that.
steakhouse receipts? My question.
I have said several times that I have never said I have the receipt for the steakhouse. I have said the person who's working
Anyway, we don't need to watch that. That was brutal. He tries to act like he's not bothered, but woof. That was the roughest part. That was the roughest part. When we look into the comments here, a lot of people are talking about this. Andrew did not do his homework. What else was there? This is what happens when an honest person with integrity debates a dishonest person with no integrity. Now I think it's 2 dishonest people with no integrity. What else we got here? These comments are pretty funny. Bro was like, I'll give you $300,000 to destroy me. His confidence is so crazy. He really thought he was going to win here. I can't believe Candace said no smoking and then proceeded to smoke this guy. Very true. Okay, I guess I was overestimating. I remember I looked at these before, and there was most of the comments I felt like were about that specific part. But that part of him being unable to name one of the 7 charges, that was the biggest moment. Okay, so yeah, we're going ahead. We're going to jump ahead here to Andrew Wilson's closing statement.
Yeah, she had nothing. Just nothing. All of her claims of Patsy, nothing. She didn't have a single claim. She didn't have a single solid piece of evidence. She had no positive evidence Israel's involved in anything. No positive evidence that France is involved in anything. No positive evidence TPUSA is involved in anything. No positive evidence that Erica Kirk is involved in anything. When I ask her about her claims...
he's not wrong about that. She didn't give any evidence. It's all vibes. It's all vibes. And when it comes to vibes over evidence, Candace Owens showed her superiority in this realm. Because debates are all vibes too. Yeah, there's fact checking and there's this and there's that. But like, you can easily kind of weasel your way around giving positive evidence, as he kept asking for. If you just seem confident and correct, and the things you're saying can't be easily, proven or
it's about
disproven.
Erica Kirk. Yeah, it's just funning. It's just funning, Or yeah, I do think that she needs to sit down and ask some questions, or answer some questions. But you know what? I don't even know if she has.
He seems so angry. But he should have been pointing this out. Like, it should have been more obvious. Like, okay, just want to be clear, you're dodging the question. Just be clear, you haven't answered the question. Okay, so that isn't evidence, what you've just said. And he wasn't really able to make that case during the debate because he comes off like such a fucking male Karen, Disney adult. Like, it's very much, can I talk to your fucking, Imagineer manager?
Maybe she has. I have no idea. Yes, I'm going to have an official timeline with unconfirmed evidence. That's just fine. Hey, it's hearsay. If that's good enough for the state, it's good enough for me. But my biggest problem with the state is that they're admitting all this hearsay. It's like she's a contradiction machine. On top of all of this, the thing that I wanted to get out of this more than...
God, interesting take, Vin Van Voom. I think this is a dishonest person with integrity versus an honest person with no integrity. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a little generous to both of them, but that's kind of right too. Yeah, I'd say a dishonest person with some integrity versus a somewhat less dishonest person with no integrity. Yeah,
than anything else was to just demonstrate one thing. Yes, it's true. I'm not perfect on the case. I'm not going to ever pretend that I am, and never did.
Okay.
But what has been made very clear to me is that there's nobody with an alternative theory that has any evidence for it at all. None. Zero. And the continuous kind of expression, we're running an investigation. What kind of investigation builds a timeline out on a receipt that they don't even confirm? What kind of investigation tries to make these bold claims that Israel's involved and France is involved and all these different players
Please focus more on the France thing. That's so much crazier than the Israel thing.
Involved and never
she only loops France in because she was personally being sued by the First Lady for doing this bizarre transvestigation about her. Like, this is Candace Owens. If you look at a timeline of her theories, it's so funny because she will just, any new thing she sees, she'll fold into her already existing theory. Like, if we look at that theory about the First Lady of France, she already thought the First Lady of France was trans. And then she watched a documentary about what the fuck is it called? The Stanford prison experiments. And she just happened to be watching that documentary during this thing. And she was like, wait, I think that guy in this documentary, one of the fucking Stanford prisoners, later became Brigitte Macron. And then that just became part of the theory. And she made a whole fucking thing about that. And then later, when Charlie Kirk happened, she was already involved in this lawsuit with Brigitte Macron. And she's like, and it was France who killed Charlie too. Why would France want to kill Charlie? Charlie wasn't saying that they were fucking trans. Why? What do you mean? No, that just goes into her theory. She just adds shit based on what her like hyper focus is at the moment. It all gets folded in together. And there's no evidence. It's just vibes. And she says in her show, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. But oh man, he went for like the most, he mostly went after her for like the TPUSA and the Israel connection. Those are the most widely accepted ones. Bro, come on. Anyway, ridiculous.
Any evidence. We're just asking questions. It's again, like I said in my opening, it's always intuition, my feelings, how I feel about things, how I think about things. Andrew, how many times did you hear this today? Andrew, you can't tell me how I'm supposed to think. Yeah, nobody's trying to tell you how to think. But you should rationally come to your conclusions based on evidence and facts. And the truth is that 90% of what you're saying is simply intuition based. It came to me in a dream. It's intuition. Almost none of it has any evidence at all. Just
also, literally, she did get some of her evidence from a dream where Charlie visited her.
Skeptical because these people over here said things, and that makes me skeptical. It's like, but no evidence. Note this to the audience, to everybody watching. You might hate my guts. That's fair enough.
Okay.
I get that. I'm not the most likable man. I understand that too.
Yeah, that's for sure. A little bit of self-awareness there. You got to respect that. And Candace, closing statement. Here we go. Let's hear.
Well, I think that is quite a conclusion. Admitting somewhere, maybe we stalemated. It probably signifies what I've been saying from the beginning, that you didn't feel that you were strong on the actual facts and the evidence, which I was willing to engage with you. I wanted to go over the screwdriver. I wanted to go over the towel and the things that you've mentioned, and you wanted to then move the conversation into a defense of Erica Kirk and her character, and what I've said about Erica, which is my opinion, and I have not edited that opinion.
His defense, by the way, his defense of Erica Kirk's character was saying she's too R-slurred to have killed Charlie Kirk. So quite a defense.
After discussing with you, I would like to extend a compliment to you for being willing to sit down and to have the conversation. I still walk away feeling that the people who are jumping on the bandwagon about this case don't care about this case. They don't care about Erica Kirk. It tends to be follow that they take a meeting.
All right, you get the idea. Now, I did want to also show you this clip from Steven Crowder's show. And Crowder, if you'll recall from the whole fucking big con controversy when he left Daily Wire, he hates Candace. And I watched quite a bit of his fucking show about it, his live react. Nothing really worth sharing. He had he was playing a drinking game. He got kind of drunk during it, where every time Candace said something stupid, it was like stupid woman alarm went off and everybody had to drink. But like they would just play it anytime she said anything. So they got kind of wasted. And he had Andrew on the phone, I guess, after the debate. And he asked him, how do you think that went? So I just want you guys to see this. This is Andrew's. Oh my God. It's so, why is it muted? Let me try this again. Refresh.
There are people who will already agree with you no matter what, people who will agree with her no matter what. Then there are some who have ears to hear, eyes to see.
Okay.
How do you think that needle will be moved from today?
I think it's the beginning of a snowball effect.
Okay.
So now that she's been challenged, I think, and had to give an accounting for the evidence, did a very poor job, I think that more of them will feel compelled to do more of these debates, or at least I'm hoping so. And I think that that'll create the snowball effect. At least that's what I'm hoping. But ultimately, there wasn't a need to push back too much on too many things, because she just admitted that she didn't have any evidence for anything.
Well,
so
that
where do you go from there? You're like, hey, do you have any evidence for that? And they're like, no. She went back on all of her claims. And so, like, where do you go?
He's so delusional. Oh, yes. This will be the start of a snowball effect that takes Candace Owens down. Yeah, this. Yeah, giving her $300,000 and then embarrassing yourself for 3 hours in front of Patrick Bet-David, showing his pussy power. Yeah, that is what's going to take Candace Owens down. Yes, giving her a fucking venue to theatrically outsmart you again and again and again. That is what's going to take her down for sure. Plus all the money you gave her.
Go from there. In other words, there was nowhere I needed to go to demonstrate what it was I was trying to demonstrate, which is that these people have lots and lots of claims, and the second they're confronted with them, they back off on all of them. Every single time. Her sources...
I guess, you wouldn't really be able to say anything else. What are you going to say? Yeah, If he lost the debate and he hadn't given her $300K, he could potentially be like, I don't know if he would, but he could potentially be like, yeah, I tried, but I think she got the best of me. It wasn't my best performance. I'll try again. You can't say, because then you're admitting you wasted $300,000. He's got to at least pretend he did a good job.
What a joke that was. My sources told me. Well, what validates your sources? The fact that I've released some, footage and stuff. Yeah. How would that validate your sources in these things? That makes no sense at all.
Absolutely brutal, gang. So, in conclusion, that was the debate. Really, I wouldn't recommend watching the whole thing. It's not very entertaining. It's mostly frustrating. There's a couple good moments. I see there's some debate in the chat here. Is Candace Owens as funny as Alex Jones? Honestly, okay, she is like growing on me a little bit. She's definitely, in the two debates I've seen her in, one against Victor Marx and this one against what's his name? Andrew Wilson. Sorry. This one against Andrew Wilson. She had some lines I was genuinely made me laugh. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. So I'm just going to move on. Just like calling him out. Like she has some satisfying moments there where I'm beginning to see her appeal. There's no way I could ever understand the people who watch her every stream. Because yes, they are boring as fuck. They're boring as hell. Like, she doesn't talk about conspiracies the whole time. She talks about a lot of other shit. Like, her most insane moments are entertaining because they're so nuts. But a lot of times she's just talking about, like, I don't know, celebrity gossip and stuff that I'm not interested in. Whereas Alex Jones, oh my God, I can listen to that guy talk about anything. But I will say I'm definitely starting to see the appeal. I don't know about you guys. Yes, we are all dumber for having seen that. Yeah, that wasn't helpful. That wasn't helpful. Yeah. Yeah, he and Crowder are going to get a snowball effect going together. Yeah. Oh boy. You guys seen Clerks? When he says snowball, we know what he's talking about. Wink. The debate's far more watchable than the Tim Pool Jubilee debate. Oh yeah, I haven't seen. That one's new, right? Yeah. Okay, we don't got to watch that. But gang, I actually have something even worse to watch. Ooh, what should I play? Got a couple other things I wanted to watch. I think I'll do this one maybe. All right, so this I'm sorry. I must apologize in advance for what I am about to subject you guys to. This is easily one of the worst things. But no. I'm actually going to go even further than that. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. No, that's not true. This is a song by an artist, Boy George, who I already don't like Boy George. Well, like, not in a super extreme way. I'm just like, whatever. Boy George, not good. But this song, and this is what I knew about it before I heard it. Okay, it's AI. It's an AI created song. Okay, 2 points against it. Number 3, it's a pro-genocide song about Israel called "We Will Dance Again." That's probably the worst part about it, morally. But, aesthetically, there are other things. Like, it's also a reggae song. It's a white guy reggae song written by a guy who sucks, that is advocating genocide, and it's AI created. All of this I knew before I heard it, and it still was worse than I expected. So I actually have to share it. Worse than Corey Feldman live? Yeah, yes, I would say so. There's some of its parts, I think this might be the worst song ever written. So, hey, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Let's I don't know, let's get all chilled out here and let's listen to some modern reggae. What are some good modern tunes for a guy that listens to Bob Marley, Peter Tosh? What is there out for me now? What's some things I can play for my fiance's family next time I go to Jamaica? Be like, well, have you heard this? Yeah, you guys like that stuff, but what about this? Let's hear it. Hear that AI like kind of fuzz to it too?
You say genocide.
Oh God.
I say war.
This is how it starts.
It's what the army's for.
It's like you say genocide, I say war. This is not like tomato. There is a difference between those things. Like, oh God. Okay. When you're attacked, that's what the army's for. It is clearly written by AI, right? It's like barely, it rhymes, but it's like no human would write this.
Does it get ugly? You bet it does.
It's just like, what is the argument here? It's not a genocide. It's a war. Okay. Yes, it's ugly. Yes, we kill a lot of children. We mostly kill children. But hey, yeah, it gets ugly. You bet it does. You bet it does. But that doesn't mean. Like, sorry, I just gotta let it.
And I know you wanna kill every last one of us. Every last one of us. Every last one of us.
I don't know if I can listen to the whole song.
October 7. Young girls raped against trees. Murder.
Yeah, this is the chorus, by the way. This is the chorus. Can you see this being the song of the summer? People come hanging out everywhere. They're like, young girls raped against trees. How is this real? Like, God damn it. That's the fucking chorus line. Young girls raped against trees to a like chilled out like AI reggae song. Oh my God. I cannot believe someone released this unironically. It's still on the rape stuff. Like, oh my God, this has been completely, there's no evidence that these things happened on a large scale. This is crazy. And then to put it to a reggae song? Like, does Boy George even do reggae?
Young girls raped against trees, murdered brutally for the crime of dancing.
For the crime of dancing, that's not what happened. That isn't what happened at all. They weren't upset about the dancing. That isn't what led to it. Is that your understanding of October 7th of Operation Al-Aqsa Flood? Is because they're upset about dancing? It's like, yes, I saw a really, really eye-opening documentary about October 7th. It was called fucking Footloose. And oh my God, wow, the crime, making a dancing a crime is in the Hamas charter, I believe.
You condemn the Jews with selective memory. Musicians holding flags, mouthing like sheep. Propaganda fueled by the internet. It feels so weak, but trust me, we will down.
Oh, sing it! Now he's really belting. Even his voice sounds like AI, right? His voice got that fuzz too. You can hear it when he starts belting.
It feels so weak, but trust me, we will dance again.
Right?
We will dance again.
Like you can hear it. Like it's. I have no idea how to describe it, but you know what I'm talking about, right? That fuzz. You hear it in all the fucking AI songs that Joe Rogan insists on playing for his guests. Yo, this is going to be the future of music. Plays them like 3 minutes of a fucking Jay-Z song that somebody made into like a ragtime, version. And when you can hear some kind of weird static. Like, I don't think that's Boy George singing. So is this just Boy George went into Suno and was like, reggae song that is pro-Israel, blah, blah, did he write was any part of this human made? Absolutely nuts.
There will be no war. But if you're ever confused, I stand with the Jews. I don't feel brave, I just need to behave like a human. But trust me, we will dance again.
Look at this dancing. Oh my God, I have to mute it. But look at how he dances. This is amazing. skanking over here. Slow motion. Ha ha! What the hell is he wearing? What is that outfit? Untucked shirt. Looks like the fucking abominable snowman jizzed all over him. Amazing. We will dance again. And there'll be no war. Yeah, there is no war. Luckily for you, there is no war. It's a genocide.
But if you're ever confused, I stand with the Jews.
Boy George also thinks Al-Qaeda just happens to hate tall buildings for the crime of building really tall buildings. I haven't really heard what they were doing in those buildings. I assume that it was about their height. Yeah. We just missed the other one.
I don't feel brave, I just need to behave like a human.
Yeah, what an ironic line for an AI song. I just need to behave like a human. Nothing about this is human. Like literally and figuratively, what you are doing is completely alien to me. I do not understand any one of the decisions that led to this.
Need to behave like a human.
Yeah. No, it must be AI. It must be AI because you can tell all of the clips of him, like you don't even see him singing in it. You see him dancing. So does he just go to the shows and like press play and like do a half-ass little dance to it? And he's like, this is my new song. And this is also, I believe, the same clip we've already seen a few times. Yeah. What the fuck is this? All right. I don't think we need to listen to the end. Is it just the same thing over and over again? I need to behave like a human. You say genocide, I say war. When they come to kill you, we will dance again by Boy George. That's how it ends. We will dance again by Boy George. Okay. That's nuts. The Guardian put out an article about it that I thought was also insane because it doesn't, it sort of is just like look at this framing. Boy George releases pro-Israel song. Is that how you would describe it? That wouldn't be my my description. That wouldn't be the headline I would choose. I say with the Jews, I don't feel brave. I just need to behave like a human. In song, defending Israel's response to Hamas attack. Doesn't mention anywhere in here that it's AI. The opening lyrics are, you say genocide, I say war. When you're attacked, that's what the army's for. Does it get ugly? You bet it does. When I know you want to kill every last one of us. Literally a genocide defense. He cites the attack by Hamas on the Nova Music Festival in October 2023. A total of 344 civilians and 34 security personnel were killed. And this seems like this is a cool new song that's actually correct about what it thinks about blah, blah, blah. The title phrase, we will dance again, repeated for the song's chorus, has been used by Israelis to express hope and solidarity. It's like, who wrote this? Did Boy George write this? Boy George, who is not Jewish, has recently voiced support for Jewish communities. In an interview with the Telegraph, no, why are you talking about how insane this is? Why are you talking about how listening to this makes me feel like I'm being pranked? Speaking ahead of an appearance with San Marino for their Eurovision Song Contest entry, he was questioned about the boycott of Eurovision by countries opposing Israel's blah, 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 blah. I have many Jewish friends who I've known since I was 15 or 16 years old. Okay. Are people asking me as someone with principles to turn my back on my Jewish friends? That's not going to happen. It'll never happen. From the beginning of my career, I wore the Star of David. What? Why? What do you mean? Why did you wear that? I don't understand you, man. I feel very connected to the Jewish people. I'm not necessarily connected to Israel. I don't really have an opinion on that. You don't? Well, who wrote the song then? Oh, I guess ChatGPT. Or Suno or whatever. I don't know. This is so insane. I feel like I'm losing my mind reading this too. Wow, what a cool guy. You guys can check it out. The band also had a hit with an anti-war track, The War Song, which reached UK number 2 in 1984 and featured the chorus, War is stupid, and people are stupid, and love means nothing in some strange quarters. Wow, what a political song that sounds like. All right. Cool. Now, the Times of Israel, believe it or not, actually has a more critical approach to this fucking dumpster fire. Yeah, Boy George's AI also made the article. I mean, that makes more sense than anything. Hang on now. This is nuts. Because the Times of Israel is actually like, I think it's kind of fucked up that he was using AI to write this amazing song. British pop star says, human musicians would have gotten in my way while producing Nova Tribute. Insists lyrics, melody are entirely his after track's removal from music platform. What? That's nuts. And I have this little thing here. I got to play you this too. This is him. This is Boy George looking cool. Also looks like maybe a little bit of AI tweaking filter to this video, but
I'm not lazy. The truth is, if I tried to write We Will Dance Again with any musician, they would have got in my way. They would have said, oh, you can't say that. That's too controversial.
Yeah, you can't say that though. They would be right. I wish someone in your life had told you, please don't do any part of this plan. It's not just one thing that you need to change here. Just don't do this at all.
You can't say this, you can't say that.
You can't say this, you can't say that. You can't do reggae, you can't do this genre. You can't make an AI song. Well, I do what I want, yeah.
Even now that the song is written, there are people in my band who are questioning whether they'll perform it with me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And those people will be fired.
I don't think they will really mind, man.
I don't need gatekeepers. And one of the great things about AI is it removes all the interference, all the human interference. You see every day. I'm not lazy.
Oh my God. Amazing. Doesn't claim the voice is his. Looking like Callista Gingrich. Yeah, I mean, like, this is definitely a guy. This is some AI psychosis. I don't know what would lead someone. He's not even Jewish. This is weird. It's so reprehensible that it is actually kind of funny. Like maybe I shouldn't be laughing at this, but like, oh my God. Human musicians would have gotten in my way. I don't need gatekeepers. At the same time, George stressed that AI had not written the song itself, saying both the lyrics and melody were his own. I don't think so. Can you write your own melody if you make an AI song? Do they have the technology? I suppose that wouldn't be too hard. I didn't know that. I thought that it just writes the whole thing, but I don't know. Maybe the ones they have now can do that. That doesn't make me lazy or make me uncreative. In fact, I think AI's made me more creative. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a fucking huge warning sign. This is like not even that big of a warning sign compared to just everything else about this, but no, I think AI's made me more creative. You hear anybody say this? You need to throw their fucking computer into a swamp or something deeper, a bog. You need to bury it under the bog. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. They need to disconnect. If I would have tried to write, we would dance. Okay, we just heard him say that. Okay, a music distribution platform Bandcamp removed We Will Dance Again shortly after it was uploaded, citing its policy on AI-generated music. It's clearly all AI. Oh my God. He was in a recent X post, he claimed that the song stayed there for over 24 hours, which mean the haters alerted them or they did not like the message. I don't know. Yeah. I think even people who do like the message probably alerted them just because this does not help Israel. It's like, all the things that Israel loves to take credit for, like, we invented the cherry tomato. Oh, the soda stream. Oh, this, that. I don't think a lot of them are clamoring to take credit for this. Have you heard the hot new reggae song? It's crazy. This makes Chronix look like a hack. We Will Dance Again defends Israel's military response in Gaza. If you're ever confused, I stand with the Jews. No, I wasn't. I don't think I was confused. Any of you guys? Yeah. No, this article, this is so funny. This one is much more critical of him, just in the fact that it's talking about the AI shit, than the Guardian one, which is like, what an interesting thing. Remember Boy George? Well, he actually made a song about Israel. That's pretty kind of brave. Now, that's how I read it. I don't know how else to read it. But yeah, what a moment. We Will Dance Again. Nobody's saying you can't dance, man. Dance whenever you want, dude. You say genocide, I say war. Just like some of the most disgusting sentiments you could ever have. Absolutely like rescued from being like completely horrible by the fact that the song itself is garbage. Oh my God. Yeah, even Vanilla Ice is cringing. Vanilla Ice is like, I think white people should maybe know their place a little bit. I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this. I think maybe you should stay in your lane a little bit. Suna will let you make songs like that way? Okay. Horns honking, screams of woo, did it happen? Yeah. Jesus. Like, even if there was like a similar, like if there was like a reggae AI song by Boy George about denying the Holocaust or something like that, I still think like its ridiculousness as a cultural artifact would stop me from just finding it so bad. Like it's so many things on top of each other that the song becomes enjoyable just as like, I cannot believe something like this exists. Young girls raped against trees. Fuck, it's stuck in my head now. Fuck. Sorry, gang. If anybody else has it stuck in their head, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Gotta admit, it's a little catchy. Brutal. All right, that's about all I have to say about that. I got something else to do. Yeah. This is more serious. But I gotta leave again. Gang, it's the summertime. I gotta hydrate more often. I don't know if you can see how sweaty I am. I do always notice it in my videos now. I gotta head out for a second. Let's. I don't even know this video, but I hope you guys enjoy the next minute or two of it. Be right back.
Skyrocketing. Now, we might think that we've escaped the Charles Dickens 19th century sweatshop dystopia, but our global economy now basically apportions drudge work to laborers in the global south, while all these middle-class workers plug into this attention-burning digital matrix that yokes us far beyond ordinary work hours. There's all sorts of half work going on, such as checking your emails while you're eating breakfast, or promoting yourself via Instagram while you're on holiday. Even our consumption has become a kind of unpaid work. Every act of buying something with a card, or watching a streaming show, or using Google Maps to get to a concert produces data that will be used to train AIs for big tech. Now, it's easy to brush these off as being unintended byproducts of digital life, some kind of necessary downside to the great benefits brought to us by tech. To truly understand our predicament, though, requires us to look at it more systemically. We don't just live in any economy. We live in a mega-scale corporate capitalist economy. And in such a setting, technology is never used to save time. It's always used to speed up production and consumption in order to expand the system. The basic rule is this: technology doesn't make our lives easier, it makes them faster and more crammed with stuff. Let's look at an example. So imagine it's the mid-1700s and you live 3 miles from the meadow where you work the soil. It takes you an hour to walk there along this rough path. Now fast forward in your head and imagine going 200 years into the future. Imagine that the rough path has now been replaced with a smooth highway, and now it only takes 10 minutes to drive to the same point by car.
How was that video? Was it good? Did he say anything fucked up that you guys would be like, oh man, Chill Goblin, what the hell? Why did you let us watch that video? Hopefully not. You look glistening. Yes, well, what can I say? I'm a little magical woodland creature. Apparently YouTube is packed with AI reggae. Really? Oh man, that sucks. I am Jewish and I humbly request Boy George not to stand with me. Yeah, no, I don't need... yeah, no, that makes sense. Why don't you stand over there? It's ironic for Boy George to take issue at hostages given he, literally did take a sex worker hostage just for himself. Really? I didn't know that. God damn. Boy George kidnapped someone. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I'm being repetitive at this point, but like seriously, I do not understand how nobody gives a fuck he's a kidnapper. What? Wow, he got on The Voice when the sentence was over? Wait, so he went to jail for that shit? What the? I didn't know about that at all. I just knew he was in Culture Club. Certainly is a cultured guy. Culture Club, right? Yeah. Okay, wait, what? What was I looking for? Okay. Yes. Whoa. Boy George's youngest brother, Gerald, was convicted of killing his wife. Damn. Okay. What else we got here? Career. Okay, what are the sections here? Oh, there's already a section on his thing about that song. False imprisonment and assault of escort. Damn. Okay. Wow. Convicted in London of false imprisonment of Auden Carlson, a Norwegian model and male escort who initially stood for a photography session with him. He'd been handcuffed to a wax fixture and beaten with a metal chain during their next meeting. Jesus Christ. Boy George maintained that only the handcuffing was true, and he never beat Carlson. Okay. Yes, I did falsely imprison him, but I only tied him up. I only handcuffed him. The metal chain wasn't even that hard. Crazy defense. Defense counsel presented the effects of his long-term drug use as a mitigating factor. It's like, in our client's defense, he is fucking high out of his mind all the time. And I haven't read the law, but that's not against the rules, is it? If doing drugs is a crime, then throw me in jail. If doing drugs that make you want to imprison people against their will is a crime, then aren't we all a little bit guilty? Who are we? Those who have never done this, cast the first stone. Oh, none of you guys have done this? Yeah, me either. Anyway, okay, he went to jail. He was given early release after 4 months. That's nuts. He was required to wear an ankle monitor and submit to a curfew for the remainder of his sentence. This guy is fucking crazy. And then after that, he made a request that he be allowed to appear on the 7th series of Celebrity Big Brother. His request was denied. Wow. Okay. You know what? I didn't know about all this lore. Turns out that this is maybe not the worst thing he's ever done, which is saying a lot. We will dance again. I'm going to be out in public. I'm going to be like waiting in line at the bank or something. And I'll just be like, young girls raped against trees or something like that. People are going to think I'm a fucking psycho. Oh my God. This is not a human written song. This is not a human written song. You can tell. It's just like his prose really talking points shoehorned into kind of rhyming lines. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. It's like halfway through the song, it's like, I could write you a version for a different genre if you like. I've created, it's like, that's how it started. Sure, I can make you a reggae song that denies the Gaza Holocaust. Sorry, I don't know. I find this really funny. Does anybody else think this is funny, or is this like too fucked up? I feel like maybe this is on the line. I think this is on the line. Oh my God. The only performer to be truly canceled is Jerry Lee Lewis. Nah, people still fuck with Great Balls of Fire though. Yeah, that's nuts. All right. I do have something else to show you guys. This is interesting. This is like some Epstein stuff. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet. This is from Tara Palmieri, who honestly, I get more and more frustrated with her because I really do like her coverage of Epstein. But like, I don't know, since she became like an independent journalist, she does a lot of like this kind of like anti-woke, like left punching kind of shit that I find so disingenuous. But her coverage of Epstein stuff is genuinely really good. And I think that a lot of her, what's the word? Like she breaks a lot of stories. She has a connection to the case. She did a podcast for a while with Virginia Giuffre. She was very close to Virginia Giuffre during this time. Virginia, I think, has like told her a lot that she hasn't made public because it wasn't safe to, but she kind of, I think, knows certain avenues to go down. Anyway, this is a recent thing that has to do with Trump and Epstein. So let's check it out.
I actually threw him out of Mar-a-Lago, threw him out of the place.
Kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club.
We threw him out. We said we don't want him, at the place.
Kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago.
I threw him out, and that was it.
Jeffrey Epstein was a member at Mar-a-Lago until President Trump kicked him out.
Years I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. He stole her. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that work for me. I said, don't ever again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place.
So he threw him out.
I love that, like, Trump seems to just kind of, I don't know, maybe he's just getting old or something. But it's like the whole point of saying, no, actually, the reason we fell out, it wasn't because of the property. No, it wasn't because of that. It was he like, the whole point is to be like, I found out that he was like abusing girls and I kicked him out and banned him from Mar-a-Lago because I'm against pedophilia. But he's like, no, he was recruiting girls from my Mar-a-Lago. And to me, if that's the biggest problem, he needs to say he needed to be stopped. He was on a rampage of poaching some of my hottest underage girls who worked in the locker room. We needed to stop him from doing it. It's like, dude, that's not what you should be saying. Like his fucking, like, advisors or whatever behind the scenes being like, dude, don't say it like that. Oh, God, this is supposed to make you look like not a pedophile, man. Anyway, but yes, those are a bunch of clips of people saying, no, he kicked Epstein out from Mar-a-Lago.
Oh,
when they had a falling out in 2004. All right, Tara, you explain.
Reported him to the Palm Beach police in 2005, not the parents of a 14-year-old who was abused. And after a decade of friendship, he barely knew him. Trump has told this story so many times, it's almost worked. And that's the method. He's explained it himself. He actually admitted to the journalist Maggie Haberman, I use repetition to beat it into your beautiful brain. Do you understand that? Most of the time it seems meaningless, right? But let's face it, the lies work. He's sitting in the Oval Office right now for his second administration. Whether Trump Tower is the best in the world, whether he's the most popular president who ever lived, or whether Trump steaks just taste the best, we're used to it. But it matters when his version is the only version, because at that point, it stops becoming a claim and it becomes the historical record. Except there is clear evidence that contradicts the story that Trump tells about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. One document. It's dated October.
Yes. Okay. So Viv Von Voom, sometimes she spends like 15 minutes on one email. That's pretty much what this video is. But it is genuinely interesting, I think. Trump has patty cake hands. If you've seen the anime Akira, Trump's starting to look like the monstrosity that Tetsuo mutates into toward the end of that movie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like some kind of Lovecraftian, Cronenbergian body horror nightmare. Yeah, no, for sure. Wait till that bruise on his hand spreads across his whole body and turns into like a giant, I don't know, crime against God.
October 14th, 2009.
Okay, so yeah, I have the thing up here. This is the email. It's all blacked out. Like, we don't know anything about it, but it's from 2009. All right. This is during the investigation, the original investigation into Trump. Into Epstein, rather. October 14th, 2009. Is that right? When was the, yeah, I think that's correct. Let me just quickly check my timeline here. Got my Epstein timeline, my handy dandy timeline here. 2009. What was going on in October 2009? Whoops. Where were we? Oh, where were we? Here. I got to rearrange my tabs here. Oh, God, I got too many tabs open. But it was October 14th, 2009. So I've got my thing here from 2007. Okay. 2006, July 1st, FBI begins Operation Leap Year, their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. And then we go all the way to 2008 is when Epstein pleads guilty to a state charge of procuring for prostitution a girl below age 18, gets 18 months in prison. Oh, whoops. Why did I do that? And then July 2009, Epstein released from jail 5 months early. Okay, so that's July 2009. Okay, so this is after all that, but this is after Epstein's been released from jail. And it's during the time when Bradley Edwards was looking into the case on behalf of a few of the Epstein victims. All right, let's continue.
With the subject line, Trump. But you probably haven't heard about it, have you? Because we are so overwhelmed with the deluge of information. But this file tells you everything about what President Trump does not want you to know about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, who we know is the biggest thorn in Trump's side. That is the only story that matters to him. You can check it out for yourself. Epstein Files, number EFTA 00740636. Available to view courtesy of the Justice Department. And you can follow the paper trail by going to the red letter at tarapalmieri.com. Like much of the Epstein files, they are blacked out. They're redacted. Donald Trump's own account of Jeffrey Epstein is, though, right here, hidden with the literal black box of government censorship. According to Todd Blanche, who was his former lawyer and now is his acting attorney general, the file is redacted because of attorney-client privilege. But there's one member of Congress who's read what's underneath. It required a 3-hour visit to the Justice Department.
She speaks like Candace Owens? Oh, you think so?
Her phone left at the door, and a government lawyer reading over her shoulder the entire time. She wasn't allowed to write in her own binder, but she came out with notes.
It is absurd.
This is so very, very crazy that, like, you're not even allowed to bring, you can go, the Congress people can go in, they can look at all the redacted shit, they can see what's behind it, but they're not allowed to bring in a notepad. They have to just remember it and write it down. So it's like that's kind of nuts. So I don't know exactly how she did it. Maybe she's got like a mind palace or something to remember everything, but like, maybe she just kept going back and forth in and out of the thing and writing down a sentence or two, and then going back in and writing down the next sentence or two, and then going back in. Like I don't know, but it's just ridiculous the way that this thing has to work.
Of Congress are in trying to investigate that which has been investigated for decades.
The music under her video sounds like Temu Philip Glass. Yeah. Yeah. Low cost minimalist.
This is an obscene exercise, and it is an obscene cover-up.
Today, we're going to learn what's behind the black box. Welcome back to the Tara Palmieri Show. Madeleine Dean's not a household name. She's a Democrat from Pennsylvania, and she's been in the House since 2019. She's not one of those members you see on cable news every night. But
yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, she brought Nobody's Girl to a hearing, so she seems to be sort of like involved in the thing. I'm just going to skip ahead here. Okay.
Redacted, including one about an Emirati billionaire who's close to Trump, who emailed Epstein that he loved the torture video.
Quote, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video."
That is one of the wildest emails. I don't know what the hell that one's about.
Only after members of Congress demanded that we see the unredacted files did the world learn the name of this individual, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the chair.
Okay, skipping ahead, but she's basically showing like some of the shit that they redacted did not need to. Why were they protecting this guy? Sultan bin Sulayem.
So after months of demanding an appointment to read the email, Congresswoman Dean drove a mile from her office to Main Justice to read it in person.
You cannot take any electronic devices in with you. Leave your phone outside, iPad outside, and there is a minder in the room.
Picture the setup. 4 terminals in a room. You request an appointment. You might be sitting next to another member of Congress, but you are never alone at the machine.
It's a minder and then a tech person, and sometimes a third person.
The minder isn't a security guard. It's a lawyer, a counsel with the Department of Justice, assigned to watch a member of Congress read. She brings her own binder built by her staff, listing every document she wants by number. She can't mark it up. She can take notes, but only on paper they give her.
You cannot mark up the note you brought in, but you can separately take notes. I mean, it is that absurd.
What?
And with a minder.
The visit lasted 3 hours. A sitting congresswoman typing in numbers one at a time to look at pages that are already supposed to be public. And when she hits...
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you guys, I think it was from when the Saudis kidnapped a bunch of rich people, like locked them in a Hilton. I think the video was going around, if I recall correctly. It wasn't the torture video email sent when some ISIS video was released. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, thanks, guys. That'll be worth looking into. I'd like to know that.
Something that shouldn't be blacked out. She says so.
and I cite the Epstein Transparency Act to the minders, and they take notes, and we will look into it.
In most cases, she hasn't heard back. But in the case of this document, it's neither blocked out for national security or to protect the victims. Instead, it appears to be protecting the man who Todd Blanche still views as his boss. Donald.
Well, yeah. I mean, he is his boss still. He's the president, right? Isn't the president supposed to be the boss of the district attorney or whatever? What the fuck is he again? Not district attorney. I forget what he is, but isn't he his boss literally? I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, I think this is interesting that like they have proof that this thing was specifically redacted to protect Trump.
Donald Trump. October 14th, 2009. An email from Jack Goldberg to Jeffrey Epstein and his other lawyer, Robert Critton. The subject line, Trump. And at the header, above it, is the email forwarded from Epstein to GMAX.
Attorney General. Sorry, that's what he was. Not district attorney. AG.
That's Ghislaine Maxwell. What Goldberg is relaying is a phone call that he had with Trump's attorney, Alan Garten. Garten had arranged for Trump to speak with Brad Edwards, the lawyer for Epstein survivors, instead of sitting for a deposition. The email describes what Trump said to Edwards. All of it's blacked out. Dean was able to see the contents of the email in that room, and she wrote it down by hand.
Jeffrey Epstein never expelled from Mar-a-Lago. No, he was not a member. May have been a guest. He was never asked to leave. Mark Epstein said, Trump, Jeffrey Epstein plane, is that true? I've been on a lot of planes. Again, this is a regurgitation of this conversation in lieu of a deposition. I've been on a lot of planes. May have been on his plane. No young girls on plane. What do you know about allegations against J.E.? Only what I read.
Okay, guys. Chat. Come on now. You guys are not into this, eh? It's kind of BuzzFeedy. Yeah, it sucks. Taking an hour to talk about 3 lines of text is just fucking with people. Okay, but it is interesting. Okay, here we go. Now we're at the 3 lines of text part. The build-up's over. Okay, we're getting straight to past the foreplay.
In the paper, Trump ever at J.E. house? I may have been there with my wife. Any young girls there? No. May have been children of guests, but that's it.
I've been on a lot of planes. May have been on his plane. Flight logs placed Donald Trump on Jeffrey Epstein's aircraft at least 8 times. This is not a man who can't remember. This is a man being careful. And crucially, Jeffrey Epstein was never expelled from Mar-a-Lago.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Like, there's so many things here that directly contradict what Donald Trump has said in the past and the current, story that his admin is going with. And there is evidence, like we've seen from the book Grifters Club about Mar-a-Lago, that when you check over the Mar-a-Lago visitor logs and stuff, it doesn't seem that Epstein was ever banned, right? Maybe he was never a member, but he was able to keep showing up. And here we go, Trump telling someone in 2009, he was never banned from Mar-a-Lago.
Never expelled from Mar-a-Lago. It reveals lies of the president.
And it doesn't stop with Trump's own account. The email says Edwards also spoke to the manager of Mar-a-Lago, a man named Bern Lemke. Lemke confirmed it. Epstein was never asked to leave. So inside a single document that the Justice Department will not let you read, Trump's lawyer says Epstein was never thrown out, and the manager of the club says the exact same thing. So that's the record. Now here's the version that replaced it.
Number one is, yes, Donald Trump, and he said this, he knew Jeffrey Epstein back in the 1980s. He also threw Jeffrey Epstein out of his club when he found out he was a creep and reported him to the police. That's something that the media often misses when it reports the story.
Wrong. All right. So, Trump didn't report Epstein to the police. He was subpoenaed by Brad Edwards, along with a bunch of other people. And Trump was like the only one that actually responded to Brad Edwards and was like, yeah, I'll talk to you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd love to talk about this guy.
They tell the fact that they knew each other in the 80s, which the president himself admits. They ignore the fact that he narked on him to the police and led ultimately to Jeffrey Epstein's downfall.
Trump threw Epstein out.
Bullshit. It's so crazy how J.D. Vance is just like, he will do anything for the regime.
Now, Trump called the police. Trump was protecting young women. Nobody on that set corrected him. So I will. The police call is real. It's just not what they say it is. Trump called Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder in July 2006. A year and a half into an investigation that was already running.
Exactly. July 2006. Which was when Epstein was arrested. But the actual investigation, where was it? 2005. Yeah, Palm Beach police receive a tip that young women are coming and going from Epstein's house. And then this is when they really started the investigation in March 2005, when they receive a report from a woman who found $300 in her 14-year-old daughter's purse, given by Epstein to strip to her underwear and give him a massage. That is when it started. That's like a year before Donald Trump got involved. So for them to, oh God, I keep bringing this one up. For them to keep crediting Trump with that, it's just completely false. The investigation was already going on.
According to Reiter, he said, quote, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this."
This is also nuts too. You guys know about this Trump line? Donald Trump said, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this. Like, what? Like, okay, so you knew. Donald Trump knew about this.
That is not a report that starts an investigation. That's a call of encouragement to one that's already well underway, placed 2 years after the men had a falling out. And read the second half of it again. Everyone has known he's been doing this. Everyone. Then there's the friendship they'd like you to forget. In October 2002, Trump told New York Magazine that Epstein was a terrific guy.
Yeah, this is all stuff that I'm sure people know. Todd Blanche, fake questions. Oh, there is some more interesting stuff. Let me skip it. I know Steuben's just having a hard time watching this at one-time speed. To be honest, me too. We don't gotta watch the whole thing. Let me go. Let me jump forward here. Okay, so this is more stuff about Brad Edwards.
This phone call for 6 years, the call between Trump and Brad Edwards. I just didn't know how relevant it would be until now. In 2020, I was on the road with Epstein's most prominent survivor, Virginia Giuffre, reporting her story for my podcast, Broken, Jeffrey Epstein.
The best podcast to get a idea of the Epstein saga, in my opinion. 2 seasons. When you're done that, you move on to another one about what's it called? The Maxwell family, Robert Maxwell. Very, very high quality stuff.
Epstein. Her lawyer, Brad Edwards, became a key on-the-record source for the podcast. Edwards was the one fighting to overturn Epstein's sweetheart plea deal.
The everybody knew line was from a call with the police. Thank goodness you're doing something about it. I've known about this for a long time. No one's been trying to stop him. I've been best friends with him for a long, long time. We just broke up 2 years ago, but, I was hoping you guys would figure it out.
On the grounds that the government violated their victims' rights by signing it without telling them. In 2009, Edwards thought Trump might help. Most of the people he approached were too afraid of Epstein to say anything, but Trump, he thought, had less to lose. So Edwards subpoenaed him, but Trump's lawyer came back and said Trump would rather just talk over the phone.
I said, how soon can we set this up? And he said, what's your schedule like?
Small thing worth noting, the email says it was a 20-minute phone call, while Edwards told me it lasted 45 minutes.
At least told us who Jeffrey Epstein was close with and who his friends were and where to look, and told me more about how their relationship ended. He said, look, Jeffrey has always been somebody who was surrounded by younger-aged women.
And then Edwards told me something very disturbing.
He said, look, there was a time, though, that I was at his house in Palm Beach. I came over for a business meeting, and we were sitting at the table out back, and there were girls by the pool. And from afar, you couldn't tell how old they were. But I asked Jeffrey, hey, who are they? And had Jeffrey said, oh, these are models that are visiting, it wouldn't have been alarming. But Jeffrey instead said, it's this program that I'm part of, like a big brother, little sister program. And Donald Trump thought, okay, that doesn't make any sense. This relationship's over.
So by Trump's own account to a victim's lawyer in 2009, he was at the house. He saw girls at the pool. He asked who they were. He got an answer that didn't make sense to him.
There's a lot of evidence that Trump was there. Roger Stone also, in his book about the Clintons, quotes Trump about how I went to his house and there were young girls everywhere. I thought, how nice. Jeffrey's invited the neighborhood kids over. Roger Stone, his buddy, put that in his book. This was before Trump was running for president in 2015, like immediately before. Is when he wrote it. I think it was published slightly afterwards, but For him to be like, no, I never went there. It's like, bro, there's so much evidence you did. You've been telling people about this. And you've been talking about seeing young girls. And then we have, of course, now the Epstein files released. We have all these emails of Epstein saying, oh, Trump was there. He saw Virginia. He saw these young girls. He saw this. He saw that. Even Virginia said she met Trump. You know, like it's all...
None of that's in the email. What's in the email is only what I read in the paper. So that's two versions of the same conversation. One he gave to the lawyer for a victim, and one his lawyer gave to Epstein's lawyers. Which brings me to the line I just can't get past, and it isn't about Mar-a-Lago or the plane. Quote, Trump specifically asked Garten to advise us of the interview. Us is Epstein's legal team. A lawyer for Epstein's survivor subpoenas Donald Trump. So think about this. A lawyer for Epstein's survivors subpoenas Donald Trump. Trump talks to that lawyer instead. And then Trump's attorney reports what was said to the lawyers of Jeffrey Epstein at Trump's specific request.
So
okay, and that's what this is, right? Am I following that? Spoke to Alan Garten, Trump's attorney, blank. Garten arranged a 20-minute phone conference with Trump and Brad Edwards, in lieu of a deposition, following what was discussed. So this thing, this black box that we can't see inside of, the censored thing, this is what the video is mostly about, is about a reporting of what Trump talked about during this conversation with Brad Edwards, right? Am I understanding that right? Yeah, 20-minute conference with Trump and Brad in lieu of a deposition. He's like, no, don't subpoena me. No, hey, let's just talk. Let's just talk about it. We'll get on the phone. We'll clear this all up. And during the phone call, this was the shit that he said, right? I think I'm getting that right. This is all 2009.
there's a loop of conversation that I cannot explain.
These men were not friends in 2009. No. They'd fallen out years earlier over a Palm Beach property, a waterfront estate, and I promise you I am not making this up. It is called Maison de l'Amitié, sorry for my French, or the House of Friends. Well, after an intense bidding war, Trump bought it for $41 million, and he blamed Jeffrey Epstein for driving up the price in the bidding war. Trump is notoriously cheap. Well, he ended up doing pretty well, though. He sold it 4 years later to a...
I didn't actually know that I didn't know that part of it, that Trump was pissed because Epstein drove up the price. I didn't know that. That makes sense, though. That tracks.
Russian oligarch for $95 million. But that's what the grudge was about.
Yes. I guess this is blacked out on the grounds of lawyer-client privilege. That's what Todd Blanche is arguing, yeah.
Not the girls. A house. Money. But think about this. They were rivals, and Trump still wanted Epstein's lawyers briefed on what he'd told the victims' lawyers. There's a word for two opposing camps making sure their accounts match before another is under oath. And the word isn't nothing. Some of what surrounds this story has never been proven, and I'll tell you where it stands. A Jane Doe known as Katie Johnson alleged Trump raped her at 13 in Epstein's townhouse. She dropped the suit days before the 2016 election, citing intimidation.
Yeah. Anyway, Katie Johnson stuff, we don't need to go all into that. But I do find it, I don't know. I just find this very interesting. Particularly this section where they go, she reads, what's her name again? Madeline Dean. She reads, I can see that she takes money from Israel because I have her name showing up in red for the AIPAC list, but whatever. Doesn't mean she can't do some good work on the Epstein files. But what does it say? Let me check. Jeffrey Epstein was never expelled from Mar-a-Lago. This is what apparently, according to this email, he told Brad Edwards. Jeffrey Epstein was never expelled from Mar-a-Lago. No, he was not a member. He may have been a guest. He was never asked to leave. Mark Epstein said Trump flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. Is that true? I've been on a lot of planes. May have been on his plane. No young girls on the plane. What do you know about allegations against Epstein? Only what I read in the paper. Only what I read in the paper. And yet, during his phone call with the police, we've all known he's been doing this. I may have been... Have you ever been to Epstein's house? I may have been there with my wife. Any young girls there? No, may have been children of guests, but that's it. I've been on a lot of planes. I may have been on his plane. But I guess the main thing that we're catching him on here is what we've sort of suspected for a while, that Epstein was never officially banned from Mar-a-Lago and maybe was never a member. He was just able to go there whenever he wanted. He lived like 2 minutes away, El Brillo way. And the other one is that police call. Where was it? Where he's like, "You guys are doing a great job. And I know exactly what he's been doing." Really, like, low self-preservation instinct for this guy, eh? This guy. This fucking guy. And let me just double check. Was that in 2020? I thought somebody said. Police. The police call.
It's
Trump
real.
doesn't want you
It's
to
just
hear.
not what they say.
Yeah, this is the one, right? Okay, so this was in 2020? Oh, wait, I'm confused. Mar-a-Lago's a mixture of everyone. Okay, so this was Donald Trump told. Okay, I think I misunderstood this.
A half into an investigation that was already running. According to Reiter, he said, quote, "Thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this." That is not a report that starts an investigation. That's a call of encouragement to one that's already well underway, placed 2 years after the men had a falling out. And read.
But wait, 2 years after the men had a falling out, that would be in like 2006, right? So is this like, is this a cop recounting a conversation from 2006 that the cop said this in 2020? Is that right?
The second half of it again. Everyone has known he's been doing this. Everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
then there's the friendship.
That is the crazy part. Yeah. I guess I didn't fully take that in. Sorry, gang. Let me just watch this one more time. See if I can really put this down.
Police call is real. It's just not what they say it is. Trump called Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Reiter in July 2006, a year and a half into an investigation that was already running. According to Reiter, he said, quote, "Thank goodness you're stopping him."
Okay, yeah. So yes, Reiter made this claim in 2020 during the second major investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. So, this might not be the most reliable source. He may not have said this. I mean, I don't think we can take this as 100% true. It certainly seems, I don't know. In my opinion, this seems true, but this is like a good 14 years after the phone call. And it's just like a couple lines here. But wow, that is notable. If he did say everyone has known he's been doing this. And I think she's correct to bring up the other famous, "I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. Even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do. Many of them are on the younger side." Like, if the question is, did Trump know what Epstein was up to? You got to be a complete idiot to say no. Yes, 100% he knew. I can say with very high certainty, Candace Owens' voice, I don't think there's a reason why I wouldn't say that I'm 100% sure. And then later when Andrew, what's his name, Wilson is debating me on it, you can be like, "You said this for sure." I'm like, "No, I didn't. No, I was very clear." Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting. Hope that wasn't too slow a video for you guys to watch. Okay. All right. I did have one more thing. I got one more thing. And it also has to do with Epstein. Where was it? Hang on now. Yeah, the 2020 interview almost sounds like Q white hat pedophile stuff. It does kind of sound like that, where he's like, "I've known about it. I've been under deep cover. Believe me, it was not easy. I did have to do some things I didn't want to do." Crazy. All right. So we are going back to Pizzagate for this one, gang. This is another moment where this is James. This is Chill Goblin against the commenters on his Pizzagate video. I've done a couple of videos on this stuff. Maybe this is a little self-indulgent. This isn't news or anything. This is me being mad that people didn't like my Pizzagate video. I got a lot of people, "Oh, this video's not aging well now that the Epstein files have come out. Oh, who emails about pizza? Oh, have you ever in your life sent a nonsensical email to a friend about pizza? Pizzagate's real. You just got to look at the Epstein files, blah, 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 blah." Well, you know, I get comments like that. And I got one the other day, and it not only did it say I was wrong, but it also actually gave me something to look into. So actually, like, I'm not even mad. Like, I like this. This is a productive way to start a conversation where somebody's talking about my Pizzagate video and said, bad video. Alephantis, who is, you know, if you don't quite remember, Alephantis is the owner of Comet Ping Pong, which is a major focus of the Pizzagate theory. This is where Madison Welch drove to with a gun and then went into, that kind of blew up the whole Pizzagate thing. But anyway, bad video. Alephantis is in the Epstein files. Cites it, EFTA 520, top right photo, you can see him with a little girl on what seems to be the island. So I was like, damn, really? All right, let me look into this. That isn't one that I'd heard before. I don't know if this is something this guy found or if this is something that, like, you know, has been the scuttlebutt, so to speak. But I looked it up. I found it. Here's the file he's talking about. EFTA, what was it? 520. And yes, in the top right corner, let me actually zoom in a little bit so you guys can get a better view. Hang on. Let me make this big. But yeah, in the top right corner, there's a bunch of photos, looks like laid out on a blanket or something, or a sheet, or a shower curtain, actually, it looks like. In the top right corner, there's this little photo here. Now, I use my CSI zoom in and enhance techniques on this thing, and I was able to sort of like undistort it, make it sort of, you know, a regular rectangle photo shape. And I think I can kind of make out there's like a little heart-shaped Post-it note in the top left, and I believe it's from Guylaine, because I think it's signed with a G or something. Although I don't know, it could be anybody. But it says, it could be Groff, maybe Leslie Groff. But it says here, I don't know. What do you think? Oh, and maybe that's a smiley face actually at the bottom. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, whatever. There's a heart that says, I don't know. What do you think? And here's the photo. And I'm like, yo, what the heck? Wow, is that James Alephantis? Now, it's a little hard to see. I'm going to have to blow this one up too, aren't I? I'll just blow everything up. Blowing it all up. They're all getting huge. They're taking over my Pizzagate board here. But it's a little blurry, but you can get a pretty good sense of what his face looks like. Now, he's balding a little bit. He's got a little bit of like a widow's peak, kind of similar to me, actually. Is this me? Is this me? So he's got a hairline. You get a good view of his profile here. His sunglasses, you can't quite see his eyes, but, you know. And yeah, there's a little girl, and hard to tell, but that could be the island. You know, there's some blue up in the top there. That's definitely a part of the, you know, color scheme of Little St. James. Now, here's James Alephantis. Okay, also he's got a hairline, receding hairline, moving back a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to find a photo of him in profile, but I found this video. I can show you guys. So here we can see. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'll turn off the sound anyway. But here we can see him, and I would say I can actually see the comparison between him and the guy in the photo. It's particularly where their hairline is concerned. But it's not quite right, in my opinion. I find like Alephantis has more like soft features, if that makes sense. Like he's a kind of round, bulbous, like, I don't know, cherubic. That's not right, but overall, his face is more round. His hair is a little more messy too, right? Like it's always kind of unkempt. Whereas down here, like his features are more sharp. You know what I'm talking about? It's really hard to describe. But I pretty immediately was like, to me, this looks like Glenn Dubin, who is a big, like very associated guy with Epstein. Really associated with him. It was hard for me to find a photo of him in profile, but I got this one. Here he is actually with his wife, Eva Anderson Dubin, who was a former Swedish, I think, model who dated Jeffrey Epstein for years. After they broke up, He introduced her to Glenn Dubin, one of his hedge fund billionaire friends. They got married. They had a bunch of kids. Glenn and Ava Dubin are like really close with Epstein. Really, really close. Have been defending him even past 2020. Being like, he was innocent. We hang out with him all the time. According to, what's her name? Virginia Giuffre. Glenn Dubin was the first man who, she calls him billionaire number one, who Epstein trafficked her to. He actually, the two of them were at a hotel. He had her go in and give Ava Anderson Dubin a massage. She was pregnant at the time, and she then had to go in and give Glenn Dubin a massage in another room. But this massage, he said, and for this one, give him the same treatment you give to me. So Glenn Dubin looms large in the Epstein saga. The two of them are on the flight a million times. A million times. Now, so that was my original thing. I was like, that looks much more like him to me. And then I posted about this in the Discord, and we got some confirmation from Mark, who was able to let us know, actually, yes. Here's the original photo. Well, actually, this is a little bit less clear since it's got his nose cut off from the censorship of the girl next to him. But there's a bunch of photos. So we've got him. We've got over here his Love the Torture video, I think. That's Sultan bin Sulaim, right? Yes, Epstein introduced Ava Anderson to Bill Gates, as well as her daughter. Bill Gates sent out a email to like company-wide emailers, like to a huge amount of people. I met the most interesting guy last night, Jeffrey Epstein. At one point, a Swedish supermodel and her young, attractive daughter showed up. It was very cool. So like, not only are the Anderson Dubins like close with Epstein, their children are too. Chelina Dubin is Epstein's goddaughter, who he also had some intention, it seems like, to marry, if not in like a romantic way. He was like, this will help me give her a bunch of money. That didn't actually end up happening, but that was something he at least proposed. There's more photos from this same visit. I'm trying to get it to load over here. I don't know why it's taking a long time. All right, it's taking a while. Hang on, let me just open it up in Chrome. Let me just open it up in Chrome. One sec. How do I get you guys to see what I'm looking at? Surf the web. There it is. You can see the EFTA number. Chelino Dubin. Favorite thing at Taco Bell. Nice. Wow, this is taking a long time to load. I don't know what's up with this. Epstein files. Come on now. Come on now, Epstein files. Don't be like that. This is taking forever. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I would say, okay, sorry. This is actually really throwing me off. It's taking so long. I would say I'm like 99% sure this has got to be Glenn Dubin. But you know what? I like that people are looking into these still. People are finding new things. I mean, I don't know how new this theory is that this is James Alefantis is, but yeah, I think it's cool that people are looking into it. I would guess that the girl in the yellow, who's also censored, that's probably Ava Dubin. And this is Sultan bin Sulaim, I think, the guy who loved the torture video. All of them hanging out. What are the files being taken down right now on this stream? Yeah, Todd Blanchard is a big fan of the show. He loves to watch the show, and sometimes he's like, "Oh shit, I missed one. Whoops! Oh god, I gotta take down those pictures of James Alefantis. People are gonna know." Yeah, you got it's a massive PDF, eh? But you got I don't know why it's annoying me that it's taking so long. I don't know. Why is my computer so slow? It's still going. Still loading. Gang, what can we do while we're what are you talking about? Hardly working. Just came here from King Giz, wrapping up night 3 of Field Division 2. Sick, dude. I don't even know what that is. But King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Field of Vision 2? What is that? Is that like some kind of a music festival? Is there some kind of a music festival? What's Field of Vision 2? Oh, yeah, okay. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard presents Field of Vision 2 at Meadow Creek in Buena Vista, Colorado. All right, cool. 9 hours of amazing music being played by a band that somehow, against all odds, gets better and better every year, like 30 albums deep. Nice. They're kind of weird, right? I don't know too much about them, but they're like weirdos. Sorry. They're like, I don't know. I feel like I associate them with like Frank Zappa and what's it called? The Trout mask replica, whatever it's called, like that kind of thing. Epstein, even when he's with his chilling with his pals, completely innocuously, he's got concocting my evil plan hands. Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does always look like he's scheming. He probably is scheming a lot of the times. Epstein file that's just a zip bomb. Yeah, and that might be what we're dealing with. Still loading, gang. Still loading. I'm just too bad there's a hand over the dimple. I think there's a few other photos once this thing loads. I think I might be able to show you guys. Talk about the salt and pepper shakers. I ain't even know what that is. Another Chill Goblin hit piece. Yeah. Where's the thing?
There is another Chill Goblin hit piece.
That's what he said. They do it all. Nice. Hell yeah. Okay, gang. Okay. Finally loaded. Let's take a look. All right. EFTA 255749. Whoa, fun photos. And I think it's down to like photo 25 or something that we start to get this. Oh, who's this? Some young girl, looks like. Young girls. Now, the Dubins have a bunch of kids. Chelina Dubin was like Epstein's favorite. They called him Uncle F. No idea why. Maybe just because it rhymes with Jeff, and when they were kids, they didn't quite know. But yeah, I think these are probably the Dubin kids. Hanging out. This is definitely the island. For sure. This is LSJ, Little St. James. They're doing some kind of a dance. I don't know. All right. A lot of photos of them dancing. Okay. I don't know who all these people are. And here we are at the thing. That's bin Sulayem, right? The Sultan? I guess he's not a Sultan, but his name is that. I wish there was like something a little bit more that we could peg who this person is. But I believe that the person in yellow is probably Ava. I'm not 100% sure. And I think this person in pink is Chelina. But I don't have like actual evidence of that. What did you think of the torture video? A little bit of okay, there we go. I think that's Glenn Dubin's face right there. Looks like another Middle Eastern guy. I'm not quite sure who. Who's this? Oh, I think I recognize this guy. But I can't place his name. Anybody know? Okay, here we go. There's another shot of the Dubes. Or is it James Elephantis? More shots of him. I mean, just the nose alone, right? Like if we go back to check out, if we go back to check out the photos of Elephantis, like his nose is very different. It's like rounded, you know? He's got like a bulbous nose. All right, I think that's the right way to put it. And we look at this guy's nose. It's not like that at all. Okay, that's a pointy nose. You know what I mean? You see that? Am I crazy? Oh, and there's another woman over here. I'm not sure who that is. We can get shots from all around the table. Probably Guylaine. Again, he's covering his chin dent. Who's this? Who is this? Oh, wait. Little bit of the chin dent there. Although we're going to have to kind of extrapolate the full shape. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure not. Okay, look at that. Take that in, huh? Take in the chin dent. Okay, the little blat blow. Okay, now quickly. There's Elephantis. Look at that. Not the same chin. Not right. Now we look over here at our buddy old pal. You can't quite see it from this angle. But he's got like a pronounced chin dent. I mean, you can see the line in the straight up one. If anyone has a better photo of him in profile. Look at him leaning forward here. Somebody do one of those green line. Oh, sorry. Can't see what I'm looking at. Whoops. Look at him leaning forward here. Somebody got to do one of those green line. Like, you're leaning too far forward. You're not a real man. So lots of photos of these guys hanging out. Glenn, he doesn't look like he's having a good time. I don't know if he just always has this resting bitch face, but okay, guy comes out, brings him their tea. Anyway, I think that's it. And then it's just a bunch of photos of, I don't know, is that like, that's got to be like St. Bart's or something? Helicopter ride, maybe? But yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's all. I conclude that I was right. And actually, this wasn't James Alefantis. And I still have not seen any evidence to show me that James Alefantis had anything to do with Epstein or Pizzagate was correct at all in that way. You may be crazy, but those are different noses and chins. I agree. People were throwing full cans of beer on stage and they were shotgunning. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Oh, sorry, you're talking about Ween. Saw Ween in 16 for their reunion. No smoking venue, and Diener went through a pack and a half. Wow. Take a screenshot and do a side-by-side? Okay, sure. I'll do whatever you guys want. What was it? Like 25. Nope, that's not right. And here we go. Okay. So, where are they? Where are they? Okay, we got here's a nice little photo. Chin dent. Boom, taking a screenshot. But boom. And now we go to Obsidian. Obsidian. There we go. Like, right? No. It's not the same guy. Those are two different guys. I'm reasonably certain. Especially since Epstein does like pizza. Cuck chin. Is that a real thing? Cuck chin. I'm just searching it on Google. Oh, wow, guys. Really sad news. Oh, that's awful. Really sad news, gang. Apparently, Prince George photographer Cuck Chin. Oh, sorry. No, Chuck Chin dies at age 73. R.I.P. Excuse me. Pour one out for Chuck Chin. But I didn't get any results for Cuck Chin. I think that might not be a thing. Okay, gang. I don't know. Sorry if that was anticlimactic, but I just thought it was fun to look into stuff like that. If you don't chisel it with a hammer, it's real. Oh, yeah. Bone smashing. Bone smashing. We'll have a bone smashing good time. Yes. All right, Stallion Man. Very cool. Gang, I think that's it. I think that's all she wrote. And by she, I mean me. And by right, I mean stream. And by all, I mean for now. That the sentence no longer makes sense, but I think you guys see what I'm trying to say. And so with that in mind, I will say, To you.
Fangs forward, faith up.
Thanks for faith
Bottoms
up.
up, and the devil laughs.
Bottoms up and the devil laughs.
That was a ball-faced lie.
That was a ball-faced lie. And of course...
Great bread tube.
Great bread tube. I don't know.
They're so dadgum compromised.
That's going to be it for me, gang. I will talk to you later. Next Sunday. Bye.
I wanted to air this because I got sent this and I saw this and I watched most of it. I didn't see it all this morning. It's like 30 minutes long, but I watched part of it. And the guy's saying he's criticizing me because you do that, you don't get banned by the algorithm. And he's just one surfer coming on the waves we created. So he pretty much gets it. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name, Extra Chill Goblin. We always like goblin jokes. I don't know why. I made goblin jokes years ago. They became super viral, so whatever. Yeah. We'll air that. So here's Extra Chill Goblin, and then Harrison Smith takes over. Here it is. Extra Chill Goblin. He pretty much gets it. Dirty. He's also got a pretty ridiculous name. Extra Chill Goblin Vomit, Slop, and Blood. I thought it was entertaining and informative. He's got a goblin guide charging into a goblin's nest. I don't want to see him kissing goblins. I just don't want to catch him in bed with a goblin. Literal empire belly goblins are hobbling around coming after us. Extra chill goblin.
I really wanted to go to the cookout.